tires, laundry to your door, and High Five Lakeway. And now, along with Hank Hudson, Scott Schaffner, and or Max Sanders, here's the voice of the Vipers, Merle Bertrand.
Well, good evening and welcome to Vandegrift Vipers Football on the Vype Live Network. My name is Merle Bertrand, coming to you live tonight from Ed W. Monroe Memorial Stadium, except we are not on the air. We are having all sorts of massive internet issues. I can't connect to anything. Hank, I'm going to let you guys fill for a little bit while I try to get this thing dialed back in.
Very good. So, Matt Sanders, here we are in the beautiful Monroe Stadium, and it's this time of season, Halloween. It's the witching time of night, Matt, when the gridiron yawns and breathes forth two teams who are going to get ready to do battle. One thing is certain, we're going to have a good time at Monroe tonight, and we're going to see something spooky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that page right there, and I think Hutto as well has kind of surprised me where they've come out in the district, as I believe they're 4-3 right now. Beat off a couple of really good teams as well in the district, so they're right in this playoff hunt, which makes them dangerous for the Vipers. And like you said, it could get a little spooky out here tonight, depending on how this game goes.
Well, we're back for now. I'm going to apologize in advance. The internet has been dropping off and on both AT&T and Verizon. Can't connect to land or ISD internet at all. We're on right now. If it drops off, just keep professional. We'll keep working here tonight. It's homecoming night. You said it, Hank. It's Halloween. Maybe that's what's going on.
I think that's probably what the problem is. It's every year, but that's this time of season we see something surreal or macabre, and no different here. And Matt, talk to us about the preparation for this game, because the Vipers are on a roll. You've been in this spot before as a player. How do you prepare and keep that momentum going every week when you're expected to win as you advance toward the playoff? How do you keep sharp and fresh?
Yeah, that's a good question for sure, Hank, and that's a problem that most teams have, where you start to look towards the playoffs a little bit too much, and that could be a danger to some teams, where you get to the point where you start stacking up these wins, right? And you're like, oh, we're making the playoffs. We can beat this team. And so it's really easy to slip out of focus. So I want to see tonight that the Vipers, in their preparation, keep their eye on the ball and keep moving it 1 week at a time. We got to win the district title, which is a goal that everyone has on the team, and then two, continue rolling into the playoffs, because if you start slipping up and not caring about these certain matchups, it can be real dangerous for the team.
Well, the guys are Vipers are 5-0 in district play after demolishing Maynard 56-6 last week, 6-1 overall. They know Ron Rock's looking a couple weeks down the road. So to your point, Matt, they got to take care of business. That game won't mean nearly as much if they don't take care of business tonight and take care of business next week. So we'll go ahead. We got in here a couple minutes late because of the internet issue. I want to make sure that we hear from somebody who knows more about football than Hank and Matt and I put together. That would be head coach Drew Sanders. I'm going to go straight to that interview, and here's Coach Sanders.
And we're pleased to be joined once again in the pregame show by the head coach of the Vandegrift Vipers, Coach Drew Sanders. And first of all, Coach, on behalf of the entire Vandegrift community, I just wanted to wish you a very happy belated 25th birthday.
Yes, man. I remember what I was doing when I was 25. Not sure. This is a little older for those fans out there, but you know what? I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing, and birthdays are kind of a time to reflect on how the year was and how the year's outlook's coming up, and we're good on both accounts, and so got too many blessings to even count. So number one is the Vipers. So love being with the Vipers, love being their coach, and it was a very fun weekend because we won, and then I also got to go to the Longhorn game. I don't ever get to do that, so that was also fun. I got to do that.
Well, I learned a long time ago to start counting them in metric years, so it helps out a little bit now.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that, so I'll have to get with you after this. Teach me the ways.
Well, no matter how you count them, the good news is the Vipers scored more points than you've got years on you. 56 to score, final score against Maynard. Your thoughts on a convincing and overwhelming win, really, for the Vipers Friday night?
Yeah, I know. I always expect to win. I thought we would win. I thought we would win by multiple scores, but to have a running clock in the game, the whole second half, was surprising, because I thought that it would be they would put up more of resistance, but I think our guys just came out and just said, we're going to get going, and from the get-go, from our very first kickoff, I don't know if you could hear it in the box, but our guys yelling on the sideline, boom squad, I mean, it was crazy. Like, it was echoing over the whole stadium.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a band, and we didn't have cheer or legacy, all because of the gas leak in the area. And so it was really just truly us and y'all in the box. And so it was neat to see the guys bring their own energy. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, we're going to be just fine today.
Yeah, you kind of led right into my next question. It was a weird atmosphere because of the gas leak here. There's, for folks outside the area, a gas leak in the area shut down traffic. The band couldn't make it. The Legacy couldn't make it. A lot of fans couldn't make it. You guys were kind of on your own. How did that impact the team? I was actually kind of nice to see them come out fired up like that because it could have been such a big distraction.
Yeah, exactly. It could have been all they were talking about, right? But instead, I mean, this group is growing up. You know, we started this season, I don't remember how many weeks ago, but we started the season talking about how inexperienced we were at almost every position. And so it's just nice to see our leadership leading us the right way and the guys following and getting to understand like what Viper football is about. And enthusiasm, as you know, is a big part of our program. Teaching our guys to get out of themselves and be more excited for their teammates and actually show that and stop. You know, it's such a typical thing for a young person to worry about being cool all the time. Drop all that and understand, like, it's only about, for these next 3 hours or for this practice or whatever else, we're only about our teammates and giving them the best. I'm seeing us trending in the right direction.
Well, you sent out one of the most amazing stats I've ever seen in the letter you sent out to all the parents. The Viper first-string defense allowing, if you want to call it that, negative 18 yards of total offense against a pretty good offensive team. I haven't seen anything like that. How good is this defense getting? How much better can they get?
Man, that was an amazing stat. Coach Young tallied that, and it was, you know, we have video now. I'm sure we talked about this at the beginning of the year. I think our fans that follow us know. So we have video at halftime now, legally, right? And so you can watch the game, and you can watch certain plays. The stats software that we use is called Answers, and it has this unique thing where on this playlist it'll show green or red, and basically each play is noted as a win or a loss. And so, like, if you're having a rough day, you've got multiple red. So if they get more than 3 yards on a run play, you know, it's going to include red. If they get more than 8, I think it's 8 on a pass, it's going to include red. And so you look at that, and I grabbed that, and they're like, all right, what do we have? And I'm looking at the thing, and literally everything's green but one, and that was a penalty. And so other than that, like, you know, you just don't see that, right? So defensively, we're winning up front right now, which keys everything, and then everything kind of flows from there. But when you can win up front, and we know why, and now pleasant surprise has been Hugo. He's playing really well. And then we've got several guys that are coming in. Moose is coming in and playing super great, a couple other defensive ends. But, of course, everybody expected Deshaun and Witt to play well. But they're playing better than I expected. They're not only playing well, they're playing above well. And so those guys kind of control everything. And if they continue to play well like that and do all the things they're supposed to do, I mean, we will be tough for really anybody.
Well, when a defense is approaching the shutdown level like that, how does that affect things on the offensive side of the ball? You can gamble a little bit more on fourth down, knowing the defense might bail you out if you don't quite pick it up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they don't come over so upset when they don't get a first down. I think one time we actually punted, and it was middle second quarter, and they just go fix it, and they know that the next drive they're going to get it right back. And so it definitely helps the entire team's mantra. I mean, I can tell you earlier in the years we were still figuring out personnel, and we had tons of injuries. You know, it was like, okay, can we stop them this time? So we're finally getting back into the Viper groove, as the band says, you know, and for us to do that, and then offense is, you know, been pleased with what the offense looks like, and that they've been doing with all the new starters they've got. So it's nice to see us, like I said at the beginning of this, trending, I feel like, in the right direction.
Vandegrift Pipers head coach Drew Sanders, a guest here on the pregame show. Next up, a former district foe, Hutto, returning to the district after a couple years away. The Hippos have had more peaks and valleys this year than Wall Street, maybe. Talk about the Hutto Hippos here in 2024.
Yeah, we played them a couple times. We scrimmaged them the last couple years, so we're fairly familiar with them. They always have very good skill. This year is no different. They have usually a couple big linebackers. Their O-line's usually pretty big. And, you know, they've had a run of really good quarterbacks. I think their receivers right now, they have multiple offers. I think there's probably maybe 5 guys that have offers on their team. So you're going to see a lot of speed and explosion. And so they stay locked in, don't make errors. They can literally beat anybody on their schedule.
where they're scoring about 40 points a game, but giving up about 30 points a game. Should everybody pack a sandwich? It might be a long game Friday night.
We'll see. I definitely won't predict. I've learned to not predict what's going on. But their offense is going to be a lot to handle for sure. And then, you can never take anybody for granted defensively because they've got great players. So I think it's just going to be a 6A district ball game. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be at home, thankfully.
Right.
So that'll be good.
Well, homecoming, we talk about it every year, always has that potential for distractions. It's a double-edged sword. You got the extra emotion and the extra crowd, but there's always that potential for distraction. How are the guys handling it this year?
I think we've been fine so far. Our whole theme this week is DYJ, which stands for Do Your Job. Our only job is to win. And so that's just my motivating factor is like just block out everything else and just do your job. So that's what we've been working on. I hope it's not a distraction, but you never know with high schoolers. That's one thing that I have learned is you don't know.
Right.
So hopefully we'll come out and play well.
Well, I've ran all the numbers through Hank Hudson's abacus, and what I've come up with is the Vipers have made the playoffs now for 12 straight years, 13th overall in 15 seasons. First of all, congratulations on that, but I know you guys have much bigger goals out there. Any final thoughts here before we get ready to take on Hutto?
Yeah, I besides understanding that it's our expectation to be in the playoffs, we really don't talk a ton about playoffs. We talk a lot about winning an undisputed district title every year, and with that comes playoffs, and so that the boys know that we've got a lot to work through. We've got a lot to do, and we try not to worry about the next two, and we just focus on this one. So we've got a big one this week, and we hope that we can come out and put a total game together and show everybody what we're about and how we're continuing to improve.
Well, it should be a lot of fun. Good luck on Friday night, Coach.
Okay. Thanks, Merle.
Vandegrift Vipers head coach Drew Sanders is a guest here on the pregame show. We'll take a break and be back in time for the national anthem and the opening kickoff. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
The Austin American-Statesman is a proud supporter of Viper football. From Friday night lights to buzzer-beating shots, we've got you covered. Our dedicated high school sports team covers all the action in Central Texas. Sign up for our high school sports newsletter and stay informed with the latest news, in-depth analysis, and behind-the-scenes stories. Visit our website at statesman.com or download the Statesman app from the Apple App Store or Google Play today.
Family time, anytime, always worth every dime. On our way is Chicken E, unbelievable sweet tea. Extra cinders, they're the best, not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of size to make a meal, Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E, gotta have their sweet tea.
Welcome back to Monroe Memorial Stadium. Merle Bertrand here along with Hank Hudson, Matt Sanders. If you're just tuning in, our broadcast is dropping quite a bit. We don't know what's going on. We're on AT&T, we're on Verizon, we're trying to Leander ISD. Our Hutto crew down the hallway is having the same problem. So if nothing we're doing, it's just something going on with the internet. If the broadcast drops, just refresh and try to pick it up as best we can. We'll get through it somehow. Hopefully it'll settle down here. I hate the internet sometimes. I don't know about you guys, but pregame ceremony is going on right now. And the Vipers come in here with a mark of 5-0, 6-1, and trying to solidify their first place standing as Round Rock is losing out there. A road game at Westwood next week. We'll see what happens from there, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, Merle, it's Halloween, and I'm going to revert to that for the explanation for all of the quirkiness with the internet. Every year there's a game around Halloween, and there's always something weird that happens. And I don't think it's quite a full moon, but it's the 3/4 moon. So it's a beautiful, beautiful day for football. What gorgeous weather we have in Austin, Texas.
All right, nice job on the national anthem. We are about ready for kickoff here, and can't believe we're already in week number 9 of the season, guys. We say it every week. We wait for it all summer long, and then it just kind of goes in the blink of an eye.
Time flies when you're having fun. And
yeah.
It's a beautiful night. The wind is virtually non-existent. I thought maybe that the American flag wasn't up the flagpole, but there's just absolutely no breeze happening in here, Matt Sanders, which it couldn't be any better. The conditions are ideal.
Yeah, perfect night. And like we kind of mentioned earlier from Coach's interview pregame, this is a high-powered offense on the side of Hutto, and we know the Vipers have their own high-powered offense, so we could be looking at a little bit of a high-scoring affair here, which would be exciting considering the last few games have more been high-scoring on one side, a little less entertaining. So I'm excited for it.
Vipers wearing the home black jerseys with the white pants, white numerals, white helmet. Hutto with the road white jerseys, black pants, and beautiful burnt orange chrome over there. That's kind of a cool look. You can see that all the way across town. It looks like a traffic light over there.
You're exactly right. That is a very
shiny helmet.
Yeah, psychedelic shiny helmet. Nice look for the Hutto Hippos. This is the only place in the state of Texas, gentlemen, that you're going to see the Huttos, the Hippos playing, or the Vipers, and they're playing each other. These are the only 2 high school teams in the state with those particular mascots.
Well, good to have Hutto back in the district. They were in that weird district last couple of years where they were having to go out to Killeen and Bryan and Belton and Temple. Finally back close to home. It's a tough district to be in, but I'm sure they like the not having all the travel involved.
Well, competition makes you better. That is a fact. I mean, it's when you play against better teams, you're going to get better. So I think that long term for the Hippos, this is where they like to be, due to proximity and competition.
And so far, they've had a great season, looking like they could snag one of those 4 playoff spots right now.
Coming in here at 3-2 overall, 4-3 overall, 3-2 in the district, and Noah Calbera will kick it 9 yards deep into and out of the end zone. And we will get our first look at the Hippos offense, averaging 40.3 points per game. Caden Stefik, 96 out of 161, 1,380 yards, 20 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, also 4 rushing touchdowns. Their leading running back, Kalen Chavez, is out of action tonight, so that is not going to help the Hippos out at all.
Good quarterback rating for Caden Stefik. 20 touchdowns against only 4 interceptions. That's similar, Matt, to the kind of stats that, in terms of touchdown interception ratio, from Tiadecki. He's got 21 TDs, 4 interceptions.
So first down, 10 for the Hippos at the 25-yard line. And moving on the line, so that'll be a 5-yard mark-off. It'll be first down and 15.
That'll make it easier for the Vipers on this first drive. Hoping they can, pitch another shutout back-to-back against the high-powered offense. Might be a little harder than the last couple weeks with how successful the Hippos are moving the ball. But, if anyone can get a shutout here, it's the Vipers. So I've got faith.
So 5-yard mark-off makes it first and 15 back at the 20-yard line.
A swarm of Vipers on the tackle, led by your leading tackler, number 42, Adam Scott. What a season he's having, Matt.
Yeah, and they're just stacked up right there. I mean, and Scott is just kind of the commander, the general. I guess you call it like a field general is like the quarterback. He's the field general of the defense right there, playing that middle linebacker position. And he's a big cog in what this Viper defense wants to do. He's just everywhere at once. And I'm sure opposing offenses can feel his presence the whole game.
Well, they certainly felt it that time.
Yeah.
Second down and 15, back at the 20-yard line. Steph again, the shotgun. Back split to either side of him, and he's going to swing it out the right side, complete down to the edge, up to the 20, and going to be stacked up right there. Driven backwards by Scott Buchanan. Brayton Anderson, the wide receiver, hauling that one in. We dropped off the air. I mentioned their leading running back, Junior Kalen Chavez, is out of the game tonight. He's in street clothes, so that is going to make them a little bit more one-dimensional, and the Viper defense, as you were saying, Matt, doesn't need a whole lot of help.
Yeah, and that's a great play by Buchanan there, just not allowing any more yards after that screen catch, and this puts it into a really hard 3rd and long for the Hippos.
So 3rd down at about 13 to go from the 22-yard line. They've got 2 receivers wide left, actually trips wide left, one to the near side. Dropping back, rolling to his left, and trying to gather himself. Fires over to the left side. That ball is incomplete. Overshot his intended target. Jack Hurricamp on the coverage. And a quick 3 and out here for the Viper defense.
Well, going back to that last play, Matt Sanders, the cornerback on that side, number 9, Scott Buchanan, he played it perfectly. If you want to draw up how the cornerback's supposed to play, that's exactly how he's supposed to play it. He keeps his outside shoulder free, forces the run back inside, and then makes the tackle.
Yeah. And another opening, kind of 3 and out. We've seen a lot of 3 and outs over the last couple weeks from this Vipers defense, so penalty does not help the Hippos. It makes it first drive, first 3 and out, not what you want to do.
Carlos Sorto with the punt. Flag comes in. It's a low line drive kick. And fielded at the 45-yard line and dropped immediately. And that's where the Vipers will take over 1st and 10, but we'll check this flag.
Number 25, Rudy Villarreal, and sophomore linebacker on the tackle there.
Ref's coming over talking to the Vandegrift sideline, maybe looking at accepting the penalty or not. Might re-kick, might just take it where it is. Let's see what the penalty is.
Your own 45-yard line is a pretty good starting field position.
Yeah, that's a great spot. I don't know if I'd want to re-kick that.
Yeah, me either.
Looks like the penalty is being tacked on after the return in favor of the Vipers. So I wonder what they got him for.
Interesting.
So the Vipers will take over 1st down at the 50-yard line. Going from right to left, first offensive possession of the night. Miles Teodecki will lead out a Viper offense. It's scoring 40.1 points per game. They have really come alive. Teodecki, 90 of 130, 1,361 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Trips wide right, one to the near side. Receiver coming in motion right to left. That's Farley. He's going to line up in the backfield. Now go back to the left. Teodecki is going to roll to his right, looking downfield, and fires over the middle of the field. And dangerous pass, but he got it through to Brock Chilton, who's going to drag tackles down to the 35-yard line. Fumble ball came out. Are they going to call it down? No, Chilton still had on the football. He came out of that pile with the football.
A little bit of a wild first play there. Teodecki just doesn't like what he sees, rolls out to create a little extra time, and then that was definitely a risky pass. He sent right over the middle.
I don't know how it got over those guys.
3 hungry Hippos looking for that ball and goes right over them. So.
I mean, that's a big no-no as a quarterback. I mean, if you don't execute that play, you got to answer a lot of questions. Rolling right,
yeah, if you're the offensive coordinator, you are stressed right there.
1st down at the Hippo 34-yard line. Teodecki dropping back, straight ahead, hand off to Fournier. He lowers his shoulder and pushes the pile down to about the 31-yard line. Gain of 2 yards on the carry. Limited action, Fournier, 66 carries, 398 yards, 6 yards per carry with 7 touchdowns. We are in game number, 8, but he's really only played about 5.5 games between the injuries and only playing a half a game each of the last 2.
Yeah, trying to keep your big dog healthy. He is quite a load. He's got the total package, doesn't he, Matt? He's got the speed, the size, the quickness, and the strength.
2nd down and 8 coming up. Now Teodecki back up under center. Got a receiver to the right side, trips in the triangle near side, straight ahead and off to Fournier. He's going to be stacked up at the line of scrimmage and knocked down for no gain on the play. Going to set up a 3rd and 8.
Hippo defense does a great job just disrupting the line of scrimmage there, not allowing much room to run. And really looks like for no gain right there. I mean, really nice job by that defense. And this puts the Vipers into a 3rd and long, which is not ideal for the first drive, but I trust the Vipers have something cooking up here.
3rd down and 8 from the 32-yard line. Just underway, first quarter. 8:29 to go. Teodecki in the shotgun. Sends Fournier to his right, pass on the right slide, and incomplete. Try to get it over the middle of the field to Thomas Meekler. Just overshot him a little bit. Vipers might be in four-down territory here at the 32-yard line on a 4th down and 8 coming up.
Yeah, just right out of field goal range, you would think.
Yeah.
And this is the territory where you feel comfortable going for it. Your defense has been great all season, so you know you can trust them here. And it looks like they're bringing out some extra wide receivers because they're going to go for this 4th and long.
And we just talked about this to Coach Sanders. Does it change your offensive play calling when the defense is playing like they are now? 4th and 8 from the 32-yard line. Empty back set now. Teodecki dropping back, looking. Pass over to the left side. Got the receiver, broke off the route. And a miscommunication there. It'll be a turnover on downs. And with 8:16 to go, the Hippos offense will come back out on the field.
Yeah, usually there's some kind of pre-snap indicator and maybe even a post-snap indicator for the receiver, whether he's supposed to sit down or continue on the route. And just a miscommunication, as you said, Merle, and Vipers turn the ball over.
Yeah, a little choice route there, I guess. Teodecki thought that his receiver may have beat him over the top and just expect him to keep on going. But I kind of like the decision by the wide receiver to just sit at the sticks there and just try and pick up the first down. And wide receiver and quarterback just weren't on the same page.
So first down 10 at the 32-yard line. Hippos going from left to right. High snap, handoff on the right side, and going to be wrapped up and dropped for a loss. Coming in backside, guess who? Ian Witt. Huge loss. Depends on where they mark him down. They're going to give him forward progress to the 28, but it's still a loss of 4. So 2nd down and 14.
The man is a menace, guys. He is a constant participant in the backfield of the opposing offensive teams. He is your team leader in tackles for loss.
Right. You can see why. 2nd and 14, back to the 28. Homecoming night, great crowd on hand. Haven't even talked about that with all the internet issues. Pass over to the left side, batted away, tipped up, and caught. 20, 15, 10, 5, and diving towards the goal line. C.J. Mooring with the tip drill to himself. It's going to be 1st and goal, Vipers at the 1-yard line.
Well, that was absolutely a very entertaining football play to watch. I just wish he would have gotten into the end zone. But what a very athletic play by C.J. Mooring.
And right there, just plays the route exactly how you want to play from your defensive back there, cuts inside, and just tips to himself, really athletic. And as he's kind of running while he's tipping to himself, looked pretty funny there, and just couldn't get to the end zone. I mean, that's a killer right there. That's your dream as a defender, is to score a touchdown, and he just gets stopped on the 1-yard line. But, I mean, I've got faith the Vipers can punch it in from here.
Got to like your chances.
Yeah.
Best starting field position of the entire season on the opponent's 1-yard line.
Kind of hard to beat that.
Bringing in the fullback.
And Teodecki is going to keep himself. Did he quite get across the line? He did not. He's going to be shoved backwards. It's going to be 2nd down and goal from the 1.
Hutto looking pretty feisty up there on that defensive front. They've always got some big guys in there. The problem that we've seen with this team in the past in terms of winning the battle in the trenches, Matt, is looks like they get fatigued as the quarters wear on. You get into the later part of the game. It's just hard for them to keep up. I don't think they've got quite got the depth.
2nd and goal from the Vipers. Teodecki back up under center. Hands it off to Fournier, and the Hutto defense is up to the task. Nice stop by Cashton, the plant.
And no space there. This front is just early in the game, like you said, Hank. They're playing lights out right now. We'll see as the game wears on who will win the battle of the trenches. But this is a big defensive front and a good challenge for this Vipers O-line, who has, frankly, all season been making some huge holes. So I actually like to see this battle right now. A little tough right now. I want to see how the O-line gets to respond to this.
Well, we've got the bulk package in there with number 5 Ian Witt, number 42 Adam Scott.
Best personnel package of the entire game right here. I love when they do this.
3rd down and goal from about the 2.5-yard line. Wildcat to 48 to the left side, trying to get the corner turn, knifes it back up into the end zone, touchdown Vandegrift. So C.J. Mooring with the tip drill to himself, interception. There's a flag down at the 2. Hold everything.
Hopefully it's not a holding call. If I had to, looks like it's probably on the Vipers. And the body language of the ref there.
Yep, holding. That's going to push it back and make it 3rd and goal. So I think we may have dropped out on the we're dropping out right now.
I wonder what number it is. Hopefully it wasn't Scott again. You know, he loves to tackle people maybe a little bit too much. Gets a little excited on that play.
Got a new starting right tackle, guys. Everything's the same up front for our Hog Mollies, but number 78, Ryan Olson, a sophomore, is starting at right tackle.
Oh, really?
So 3rd and goal from the 12-yard line. 2 receivers wide right, 2 to the near side. Teodecki dropping back, looking pass underneath, complete. And to the 10, to the 9, going to bring up a 4th and goal from the 9. That was complete to Hollister Stevens. And the field goal unit will come on here.
I think that was Brock Chilton.
It was Brock Chilton.
Brock Chilton, yeah.
There, Merle, and, yeah, they just looked for a little bit of a tunnel screen there, try to get it inside, and, you know, that's kind of one of your few play calls you have from that down distance with the 3rd and very long from goal. And there looks like they're bringing out the kicking team to get some points on the board and wipe these the 0 off.
Noah Carver, 2 out of 4 in field goals with a long of 43. This one is from 26 yards, and he puts it through.
That's good.
So the Vipers draw first blood, not the way they wanted to. And again, I think we dropped off the air to set this up. C.J. Mooring with the interception, he tipped it to himself, took it all the way down to about the 1-yard line, couldn't quite get it in. The Vipers thought they had a touchdown, but called back due to a hold. So they settled for 3 and lead it 3-0 with 5:40 to go in the first quarter.
So, Matt, you make a really interesting point there about offenses in the red zone, defenses in the red zone. The offense does not have the ability to stretch the field when you're down there up, towards the end zone. So, how does that change the mindset on both defense and offense, do you think?
Yeah, I think with play calling, it's definitely hard because you're limited in the space you can run routes and where the safeties are, because the safeties are now much more active in the defense. It's like the defenders, everything gets squeezed in tighter. So you have to have special play. That's why you see a lot of just like, when you're practicing football in college and high school, you have a section of practice just for red zone plays because it's a very unique place to call plays at. So it's definitely a mindset change for the offense. And defense makes it a little easier. There's way less space to cover. So you can really come downhill hard and stop some of those plays.
Well, it's talked about at every level, isn't it? You see
Yeah.
those red zone stats in NFL, college, and high school, but the Vipers come away with a field goal.
So Colbert with the football on the tee again. He'll kick it from the 40-yard line, and as usual, pounds this one deep into the end zone, and Hutto will come out trailing at 3-0 here with 5:40 to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, I thought the Hutto defense did a really nice job stopping. I mean, you get the ball in the 1 and to only allow 3 points is really
Noah Kahlberg, your kicker, went up and made initial contact. What a gutsy play by him. Slowed him down a bit and got some help from his buddies.
Was Colbert the one that got stick a little bit there?
Yeah, he got run over a little bit, but he's a kicker.
That's one of the things where, you're a kicker. I love the fire of a kicker to go out, try and make first contact there.
He broke down. He got his shoulder to tack the back hip. I mean, he really tried to make a tackle there.
And it was a classic. Looked like a video game truck right there.
I don't know.
The hippo returner.
I don't think he spends too much time doing tackling drills.
Got the job done, though. First down 10 for the Hippos at the 40-yard line, moving from right to left. And quarterback's going to keep himself around the right side and going to be knocked down for a short gain of a couple yards. Jack Korkamp not fooled. He was in on the stop. Going to bring him a 2nd down and 8.
Well, you get past Hugo de Santos again, Hugo de la Vara Vasquez. You get past him and you go into the waiting arms of another Viper defender for not much happening.
You know what? That's a positive play, though, to start for the Hippos. They're now, instead of going backwards 4 or 5 yards, they now got 2. So maybe that was kind of their game plan there to start off with a little bit of a run, maybe to limit the negative plays they've had.
Hand off right side and nothing doing. This time it's Braylon Beckworth on the carry. He's stacked up for very little gain. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Well, I guess the football gods want me to have to say Hugo's full name again and again because he's again on the tackles, number 94, proving to be a complete disruptor of activity.
3rd and 7 from the 43-yard line.
I heard some people call him DVV, De La Vara Vasquez. I don't know if that's any easier for you, Hank, there. But
Thank you.
3rd and 7. Vipers are showing blitz, and I would say that Adam Scott may have been slightly offsides.
Maybe so.
Yeah, it looked like he was about to line up at tight end right there.
Right.
We had him in on our Pop Warner team for a couple of years, and I'm not sure how he got the nickname, but everybody called him De La Soul. So there you go.
That's a cool nickname. I kind of like that.
Yeah. That is a pretty good nickname, isn't it? DVV. I like that. I can make that work.
That makes their third down a little easier. 3rd and 2 now from the Hippo 48-yard line. 6:05, clock rolling. Quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he is. His second effort may have gotten there. Vipers are saying it's going to be short, but the official is going to let him move the chains.
Massive humanity up there. Quarterback might feel that one in the morning. You got to combine the combined tonnage on the tackle that time is
Yeah, very high. I don't know if they gave him this. Okay, they did.
They did give it to him.
Where they spotted it, looked like he didn't get it quite. Looked like they're giving him the first down, which I thought it was close, but he might have reached the ball across.
1st and 10 from the 50. 5:50 to go first half. Vipers up 17-0. One receiver right, 2 to the near side. And off right side into Viper territory to the 45 and down to the 41-yard line. Brayton Beckworth on the carry.
Well, I get the sense, a lot of right-handed teams run right. They're running every running play to the right.
Quarterback keeps it on that one, and then Hugo had no remorse for the running back there.
No.
As he just
That's his assigned guy,
his
right?
assignment was just, hey, take out the running back on any of the option plays, and he for sure took out the running back on that one. I'm not sure if the running back has been tackled that hard when he didn't have the ball before.
First down Hippos at the 32-yard line. Putting together a nice drive here as the first half winding down. Around the right side again to Hank's point. That's going to be another 4-yard pickup. Yeah. Beckworth on the carry. They found something on that right side.
Well, typically right-handed teams, the right-handed quarterback run, the more plays to the right just by default. But it seems like they're really trying to run away from Deshaun Morgan by intent.
Yeah, they're kind of running to Delavar Vasquez there, and that's allowed him to make some really nice plays here. But as this drive wears on, it's going to be taxing for him to continue to keep making plays that side. So maybe that's what the Hippos are trying to go after here. 2nd
down and 6 from the 20-yard line. Now a flag comes in.
That stem action, Matt Sanders, has caused many a penalty against opposing offensive lines. And there you see another one. You go from 2nd and 6 to 2nd and 11.
We haven't seen a lot of that this year, to be honest, compared to years past, at least not to my memory.
They're still doing it, but I think that, finally.
More sporadic, I think. And honestly, as a looks like they called it on us on sides.
Wow.
Interesting call there. But maybe they just saw us a shift. Maybe the nose tackle was too far over the ball or something like that. I saw movement on both sides there. So, but yeah, this is one of those things as an O lineman where if they do it too frequently, you're just used to it.
Right.
So I think sporadically it actually creates more of an impact over the game.
2nd down and 2 from the 23-yard line. High snap, handoff up the middle, and the Vipers respond well. But a second effort there by Beckworth. But still no gain in the play. You're going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 coming up.
Yeah.
Sir Adam Scott, number 42, your leading tackler and team captain and All-American young man next door.
3rd and short here. The Viper defense can answer the call.
Up the middle. That's going to be good for first down inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. So Hutto in the red zone for the first time tonight with 3:54 to go in the first half.
Well, full credit to these Hutto Hippos, Matt. They are really putting together a nice drive. That was the 7th play of the drive. Picked up a couple of short yardage first downs and some big plays.
This running back for the Hippos is doing a great job of just cutting upfield immediately fast.
Right.
You see his burst as soon as he gets the ball. Scott was in the backfield that time, but he's just can't get there in time. And Beckworth just immediately sticks his foot in the ground and gains 5 yards.
High snap again. They give it to Beckworth, and he's going to pick up another couple yards down to the 17-yard line.
He's doing a great job of just continuing to just get downhill fast. And that's what this offense is. They were struggling a lot with these RPOs, a lot of the misdirection. They were trying to attack outside, and now they found something where, okay, let's just get north and south as fast as possible. We got a very talented athlete in Beckworth where he looks extremely quick. Looks a little gassed right now as we can get the ball almost every play, but you can definitely see his speed on the field.
2nd down. Handoff Beckworth up the middle, and he gets to the 15-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd down coming up.
I think, gentlemen, that number 88, erstwhile defensive end, Deshaun Morgan, feels like he's not getting enough participation because on the last 2 plays, gentlemen, he really cleaned house and took care of business. Tried to run right, cut back to the left a little bit, and he He's there waiting.
Beckworth, hands on his hips. I think he's gotten the ball 5 out of the last 6 plays right now. And his last 2 runs have been not as effective. It's now 3rd and 6 for the Hippos.
A little more stem action. Hippos don't bite.
Two receivers to the right. Play action pass, looking and in trouble. Buys himself some time, throws it towards the end zone, and that flag comes flying in.
No, they didn't say.
Said it was incomplete, out of bounds. Flag comes in the back the back end of the defense here.
Interesting line shift there, Matt. You shift into a 5-man front. You squeeze your 2 defensive ends down into like a 5 or 6 technique, and then you walk up linebackers. You got a 5-man defensive front. So I think Hutto saw that and wanted to take advantage because Vipers have been in a 3-man front. Oh, darn.
Yeah, pass interference was indeed the call.
A lot of stuff going on there.
I mean, and that just is a backbreaker for this defense where you get a stop right there, getting a 4th down, and the penalty keeps them on the field. And that's one of those penalties that doesn't really affect the play at all. You know, you hope for your guys to not do stuff like that where there was really only one back-end route over there and plenty of DBs to cover it. So it just sucks to have a penalty like that in that situation.
You're right. I mean, I would think we had that well defended. And case in point, the quarterback, Caden Stefik, was running for his life a bit, scrambling to the right there.
Facing 3 defenders right on the sideline.
Withering pressure. And that flag came in really late. So I think maybe the receiver's trying to work back to the quarterback, and maybe one of the defenders on that side got a fistful of jersey.
Or some contact over there. And I mean, it was very far backside, and especially where the flag can answer the call and then make one better.
Quarterback rolling left. Incomplete pass. He tried to get it to the receiver coming out of the backfield that time, Matt, but everybody's home for the Vipers. 2nd down.
Little misdirection there. Tried to slip out not sure if it was an H-back or wide receiver motioning over there that just escapes there and tried to get him free, but the Vipers stay home and were able to stay disciplined on that play.
Hutto Hippos in a 2nd down and goal inside the 10, about the 8-yard line. Stefik back to pass. He's looking. Incomplete. Great coverage that time by Matt Draken. Everybody's home for the Vipers. And you see the quarterback throwing the ball, Matt Sanders, as he's going backwards, not stepping into the throws. He's maybe a little bit punch drunk, this Vipers rush.
Yeah, this Viper defense has done a great job getting after him all night long, and that's been the story all season. Their pressure rate has been insane. I don't know the exact stats, but it feels like every time I'm watching teams drop back, they've got somebody in their face that they're having to avoid.
3rd and goal from the 8. Hippos line up. They're going to check with the sideline, check with me. See if we get a different play call. Stefik's been looking pretty good on this drive. It's the 10th play. Back to pass. Here's Stefik. It's a reverse. The Vipers managed to get number 16, Matt Draken. Nice looking play there. It's a delayed reverse as the guy came way outside to take the pitch.
Yeah. I love that play call design from the Hippos there. I like the kind of end-around approach where you have been, putting everything to the right side, as you said, Hank, earlier, so the defense is more catered to that side. But Vipers stay disciplined, and they have enough defenders there to not give up a touchdown. Now it's 4th and about 4.
And the Hippos are going to go for it.
Yeah.
3 receivers split right, 1 guy to the left, 1 man in the backfield, 5-man protection.
1 minute and 20 seconds left in the half.
And looks like there's going to be a flag down, free play maybe.
And they throw it up.
Yeah, Stefik.
Vipers
threw it into the end zone there, but it looks like the Vipers might have been offside.
Yeah, I got a little excited there. It's a big 4th down play, and they're all fired up to get after the quarterback.
So you're probably going to get a half the distance to the goal, Matt Sanders.
Yeah.
And they went for it on 4th and goal from the 4. You have to believe right now they're going to go for it again. You're just outside the 2-yard line, 1:13 and counting. You're down 17-0 on the road. This is as big a play as we've seen so far in this game. Hutto's going to line up with 3 guys split to the right, 1 man left, 1 man in the backfield. Running back to Stefik's left. Vipers with a 5 or 6 man front. Hutto's going to check with the sideline. We may see a timeout here.
Looks like they will go ahead and take the time to talk about this one. This is a big play. If the Hippos are able to score here, there's not going to be much time left on the clock. The Vipers don't have a ton of time to, we're going to end up with the ball with about a minute left to answer. I believe we have 1 or 2 timeouts left. I'm not exactly sure. I think we only have 1 timeout left. And that is a hard thing to do, especially with, this defense, the Hutto defense was playing really good all night. So getting a score here for the Hippos is just huge because we've been, it's 17-0. And Vipers get ball at half.
That's right.
So if you don't walk away with points for this drive, you're feeling pretty bad going into half because the Vipers get it out. And, if they get another touchdown at a half, it's not 24-0. It's very hard to come back.
Well, you make a really good point there because the Vipers prefer to get the ball in the second half. They usually defer the coin toss if they win. And they've been very effective coming out of the locker room this season, Matt Sanders, and doing something very positive on that opening drive. So it puts a lot of pressure on the opposing team to come out and manufacture some points in this first half.
Yeah.
I mean, and to your point again, 4th and 2 here. If you potentially it'd be a huge momentum swing if they manage to punch it in, but if you don't get those points, it may be a bit of a backbreaker.
Looks like we're back here as they come out in the same formation, so it didn't look like they changed the play call too much.
So 4th down and goal from the 2. Stefik's going to take the snap. Running back is to the right this time. 3-man split right. Stefik back to pass. He's going to throw a fade into the corner, and it's going to be incomplete. Turnover on downs. The Vipers hold. Big-time goal line stand right there by Vandegrift.
That's what you want to see right there. And we talked about this earlier. When you get closer and closer to the end zone, the defense tightens down. And defense this elite, it's very hard to score on them. Right now, I think it's 4 and a quarter games, 5 games almost with a shutout pitched. And a reason they continue to have these shutouts is because when you get in the red zone, this defense tightens down.
Yeah.
That's what you see a sign of all elite defenses is that they don't give up points easy at all.
Vipers take over with 1:10 in the first half remaining. They're on their own 2-yard line. Interesting to see what we do here. Tedecki back. Hands off Fournier, left side, behind that big, huge offensive line. He's going to gain about 5 yards. Going to be 2nd down and 5. Clock is running.
Great push by the O-line. Great run by Fournier. And I imagine the Vipers are just going to kind of run this clock out depending on the gain here.
Now, based on field position, I think
it looks like they're getting in victory formation here, and they're just going to take us in half. They get ball at half. Had a good stop. We're up 17-0. Let's not do anything too risky here and get into halftime. Let's make our adjustments. And let's go play the second half of football.
Hutto is out of timeouts. One more play will do it. Tedecki takes a knee, and that's going to do it for the first half, ladies and gentlemen. Your Vandegrift Vipers up 17-0 against the visiting Hutto Hippos. Been quite a good football game. Hutto ends the half, Matt Sanders, with an 11-play drive finishing on the 2-yard line. They can't punch it in. So advantage Vipers going into half, and as you said,
And welcome back to Monroe Memorial Stadium. Halftime wrapping up homecoming night. Noah Bertrand, Hank Hudson, Matt Sanders here. 17-0 Vipers. Thank you guys for covering there in the second quarter while I was troubleshooting the issues that were going on with the streaming provider that we use. So unfortunately the broadcast didn't go out live in the second quarter, so hopefully you're getting a chance to relive the glory here on Monday afternoon or something like that. Hutto getting ready to kick off here from right to left. 17-0 Vipers as the second half gets underway. It's a short high pooch kick. Fielded at the 26-yard line up to the 30, to the 35, out to the 40, and up to the 45-yard line. This is probably a good return, about a 19-yard return. And the Vipers up 17-0.
Not live anymore. Not live anymore. Recording this, so now we can be allowed to mess up right, and Merle's going to go through the footage and cut it up.
Make sure we all look good.
There you go. Nothing like live radio, but here we are with the Vipers. That first half, gentlemen, there were seven punts, 2 by our Vandegrift Vipers, 5 by the Hutto Hippos, as they were shut down for most of the first half, but they did put together an 11-play drive to end that first half. Of course, that died out at the 2nd yard line when the Vipers closed the door on 4th and 2.
So first down at the 45-yard line. Vipers on the attack left to right. Teodecki dropping back and going for it all. He's got a receiver wide open, 25-20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Vandegrift. Brock Chilton hauls it in, no flags, and the Vipers start the second half in style.
I mean, Chilton again.
My goodness.
That's how you want to start the second half. You come out and, just let's throw a little shot play and find our main man Chilton down the middle there on a nice little post route, and he's just wide open. The coverage looked like it broke. The safety lost him for a second as he just ran right past him.
Well, your Independence title scoring drive summary, gentlemen, is very brief this time. It's going to be one play, 55 yards, Teodecki to Chilton. That's his second touchdown pass. The first one was even longer, 87 yards. He's having a big night.
That's just a backbreaker for this Hutto defense where, you go into half, and all you do is you talk about these defensive adjustments you're making and how you're going to stop this Viper offense. You say, okay, they've actually struggled to move the ball a little bit. They had their one big play, but other than that, our defense, as a team, you feel like probably your defense has been playing pretty good tonight against this high-powered Viper offense. You come out of half, you're ready with all these adjustments. Let's get them boys, get a hype-up speech, and then the second play is a big hitter touchdown. It brings the air right out of the sails for the Hutto.
Right. Anything that they had kind of planned and tried to figure out getting ready the second half, that's now off the table because they're down by 3 scores and three two-point conversions.
Yeah.
And once again, Matt Sanders, if you look up in the football dictionary, clean pocket, that's exactly what Teodecki had there. He was in acres of space with no pressure, manages to set his feet and throw. It's a comfortable throw for a quarterback with no pressure. Great job by the Hog Mollies.
Yeah, when you give a quarterback time to throw, you set up those explosive plays. So that's exactly what you want as a Viper offense, too, where you come out of half, and, again, we saw the struggle to move the ball except for big plays. And right there you get out in a nice – now we're up to 24-0.
Right.
You can really just control the game from here from the offense side of the ball as the defense still takes care of business on the other end.
So Colbert set to kick it away from the 40-yard line. It's had a busy night already tonight. 24-0 your score. And this one is going to be returnable back to the goal line. TRC. He's going to bring it up to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, and a nice stream up the middle to the 30, 35. And again, I think it was Colbert again had to make the stop. That's the second time tonight that he's had to do that.
Well, he does the job that time as the returner tried to make a break to the right. Colbert trips him up and gets his first official tackle this season.
And that's you got a little revenge on that hit. That was a nice hit by a kicker if I've ever seen one.
I'm telling you.
He recovers from being, picture-perfect truck stick the last time he tried it. And I love it. He has no more fear. He goes and does it again. It seemed like he didn't really learn a lesson at all, and he makes a great play.
Well, again, the Hutto Hippos with a nice job on the return, guys, is opened up like the Red Sea there. And
down the middle.
Down the middle, but Colbert doesn't make that play. It's gone for the house for 6.
Yeah.
And quarterback pitches out left side up to the 35 to the 36-yard line. Gain him a yard. Yeah, actually no gain in the play.
Big Matt Drake at number 16. What a tackle on the open field. Big play. He's making plays all year.
Morgan looked to be rolled up at the end of that play, but he jogs off the field in his own power, so hopefully nothing major. He has been a staple on this Viper defensive front here, and he's a game wrecker, so hopefully he can come back into the game.
I'm going to let you guys take it again here for a moment if you don't mind.
Hutto Hippos back to pass. Stefik, great pass and catch that time as the receiver is going to break a tackle, but fight upfield for another couple of yards.
That was number 12 again, Jaden Fields. And this is the guy they've continued to go for these big plays, Hank, where he continues to find open spaces on these kind of deeper slant routes, on these crosser routes, and he's able to eat a hit there and continue for more yardage at the end.
1st and 10 Hutto after that nice throw and catch. Stefik's having a pretty good game when he's got time, but he hasn't had much. Motion to the left this time. Here's the snap, handoff up the middle, nowhere to go. The Vipers shut the door. Call out the numbers there. There's a bunch of them. Number 99, Noah Pisher on the tackle. Adam Scott's there.
Pisher comes in relief of Morgan, who was banged up a little bit, came off to the sideline. He just wrecks that play, does his job, and that's what you want to see from off the bench defensive end. Comes in and I mean, he looks like he belongs out there and makes a big play.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 after no gain on 1st down. Here's your Hutto Hippos. 3 men to the right, 3 men to the left, 1 to the right side. Stefik's going to check to the sideline, see if they change things up. One running back to his right side. Here's the snap. Stefik back to pass. Quick set, quick throw. Going to be brought down after a gain of about 3 yards. That is Hollister Stevens.
Hitting machine comes in. Not his usual big hit we've seen, and he hasn't had too much work tonight, but really great tackle there. There hasn't been a ton of passes in his vicinity. Maybe people have been getting film on how hard he's hitting the wide receivers. They don't want to throw his way.
I think Hank Cousin's got a pretty good career at play-by-play. If I ever can't make it, I know who I'm calling.
Are you back on?
I'm back on for now. 3rd down, 7 at the 42-yard line. 2 receivers wide right, 2 to the near side. Dropping back. And pass over to the right side. That is overshot everybody. Pretty good arm there for Stefik. But, again, the pressure coming up, guys. He just has not had a chance to get back there and get comfortable.
21, Parker Davis that time. The difference in that play, Matt Sanders, versus the touchdown pass the Vipers threw is Tiadeki had all day to throw in a clean pocket. That is not a clean pocket as 21 came up. That, again, is Parker Davis and completely disrupted that play, didn't allow the quarterback to make a clean throw.
Yeah, that's just, this Viper pressure has been getting home all night long. Obviously, they've had a few big plays where it hasn't gotten there in time, but almost every other player watching this defense get in this quarterback's face, disrupt his rhythm, disrupt his timing, and he's forced to make these throws earlier than he's expecting.
4th down, and the Hutto Hippos are going to go for it.
Nothing to lose. Rolling to his right, fires over to the right side. Got a receiver out there, caught for a first down to the 30 and out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So the Hippos, and they'll tack on 15 more as a little extracurricular contact after the play.
A little rough out there on the edge, and I get being aggressive as a defender right there. I get the toss out, but just when you're kind of fully slinging somebody in front of the ref, you're most likely getting a flag there every time.
Especially on their sideline.
Yeah, it's right there. So it's just one of those things where, as a defender, you got to be a little smarter where he's already going out of bounds. We don't need the extra throw. I know he's being aggressive, but that penalty now moves them from outside the red zone to inside the red zone, which is much different as a defense.
Good-looking route over there on the right side as Hutto taking advantage of those deep routes, pulled up short there just past the chains. Well-delivered football by Stefik.
First down at the 14-yard line now after the completion and the penalty. And handoff right side looking for running room and can't find much. Vipers maybe falling forward for a yard is going to be Beckworth as once again Hugo de la Barra Vasquez in the backfield. Slowed him up, and then the Cavalry arrives, 2nd down and 9.
Well, Hugo, that's the old I hook him, you clean him and fry him. Hugo kind of set that up, and Adam Scott is about as sure a tackler as we've ever seen in this Vandegrift program. He cleans it up. We're going to have a fish dinner tonight.
So 2nd and 9 from the 14-yard line. And this time the quarterback's going to keep it himself. Fumble. Vipers saying they got the football.
We'll see who comes up with it at the end of this pile.
No indication yet from the officials. And it looks like Hutto will maintain possession. I thought it was a quarterback keeper who was actually trying to dive to get back on the football.
So Matt Hutto ended the first half of the 11-play drive, didn't get any points out of it after driving down to the 2-yard line. This is going to be the 7th play of this drive as they've matriculated down the field, helped by a 15-yard roughing a personal foul.
Yeah, they've done a great job now just taking what the defense gives them and finding little spots in the throws. And also, when the pressure's getting to them, they're starting to incorporate more of those rollouts, which gives their quarterback more time to get the ball off, allow them to move all the way down the field. But now that, as we talked about earlier, this field is tightened down.
So 3rd down and 10 now with the loss, dropping back. Play action, pass over to the right side, got a receiver, open, caught, touchdown, Hippos. Pretty good-looking drive there for Hutto.
Very good-looking drive. You go 8 plays and about 67 yards, and that time he goes to the back of the end zone, and I think the safety kind of misread that on that side because he came in a little too shallow.
Yeah. Again, that's with the RPO where you get the safety to kind of bite down or maybe freeze a little bit when you're looking at the run play, and they have a nice wheel route right behind the safety. Hutto hits him just right where you want to be, right in over the top of the shoulder there, and he brings it in for 6. And I think that, the shutout streak has ended for the Vipers.
Legitimately. You can't blame this on the 2nd string or 3rd string.
Hutto going for 2.
Yeah, they got to make up some points, dropping back. Fake pattern on the right side. That ball is overshot. Incomplete out there on the coverage was Hollister Stevens. So the score will remain 24-6 with 7:50 to go here in this 3rd quarter. We'll take a break and be right back. Turn it back over to the offense. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the stores. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long-distance meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
7:50 to go, third quarter. Vipers now lead at 24-6 after the Hippo touchdown to break the shutout. And Hutto set to kick it off from right to left. And it's a pooch kick over here to the near sideline, fielded by the up back, and it's going to be Viper football at the 33-yard line. Heads up play there for Vandegrift by Vin Wynn.
Big time heads up play right there, Merle, is you got to be prepared for that. You call a fair catch, that means no one can take a shot at you, and he feels it cleanly. Vipers live to fight another day. 1st and 10 on your own 33 is pretty good starting field position.
Really nice job just calling for the fair catch there. And now we get to see the Viper offense now score on these huge explosives now. Let's see if they can maybe look for another one.
Right.
If they continue to just find these spots where the safeties are not respecting this deep ball.
Well, the Vipers got smacked in the mouth. Good teams respond to that, so we'll see what they do. 48 lined up to the right side of Teodecki. 2 receivers to the left. Dropping back to pass. It's Teodecki being flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his left, and just chucks that one over towards the Hutto marching band. Pretty good throw, given ground like that. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Discretion is the better part of valor there, Matt Sadners. You live to fight another day, and he just going to get rid of it there. It looks like they were trying to throw one deep again on this near side. Looking for the deep route. They had it pretty well covered.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 33-yard line. Stops the clock, 7:42 to go. This ball game not out of reach yet, 24-6. Another score would look very nice here. Handoff, Fournier right up the middle. He lowers his shoulder and gets it across the 35-yard line to the 36. So a gain of 3 coming up. 2nd down, or actually 3rd down and 7.
Tough yards right there, Matt Sanders, is that Hutto Hippos have committed to stopping the run, which is, I think, one of the reasons we've been able to hit some of these deep balls. But they look like they're pretty stout up in there in the middle. Braden Daniel, number 14, the linebacker, has made a lot of plays tonight. It's a good group.
Big 3rd down here. Vipers don't want to give Hutto any sign of momentum. 3rd and 7, Teodecki in trouble. And he is going to be sacked. That's going to be a grounding call because they never made it back to the line of scrimmage. He wasn't outside the tackle box, and there's your flag.
He waited for a while and kept the suspense going and threw the flag late. But, yeah, I think you're right, Merle. There's no question there. It's going to be loss of down. The Vipers are going to have to punt this one away.
Got to bring out the punt unit here. And, you know, I think that just the add-on blitzer there late really just applied the pressure where right there we saw earlier we saw Teodecki able to escape that pocket and be able to throw it away. But because they bring that extra blitzer in, that contains him inside, and he's not able to to get out and throw that ball away, which credits this Hutto defense with, I believe that's their first technical sack of the night. I'm not sure if
that sounds right.
That sounds right.
You know, intentional grounding, that's a sack to me because, you know, would have had him if he didn't throw it away. So
it has the same result.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, this Hutto defense has done a great job. And we saw as the half went on, like we said, this front is really good, but we saw them get worn down by our front as the half went on. But when you come out of the half fresh, these guys were teed up and ready to play.
Colbert launches it. Going to land at the 45-yard line, take a Viper roll across the midfield stripe. Another beautiful pump for Noah Colbert. It's going to go all the way down to the 38-yard line. So, what, 12,
Great
22,
punt.
32, 42, about a 49-yard punt with no return.
Love the way our guys find the football there, Matt Sanders. You got 4 black jerseys surrounding that football. That's number 15, Joe Gerasi. Number 17, Jack Rudberg. Also,
13,
third.
Kester was there.
Kester was there, waving the ball, trying to get it to move. Wonder if that ever works.
I don't know if I don't know if I've ever seen it actually work, but it's one of those things that, like, you kind of have to do it. You know, you gotta just in case.
Put that extra inch or two, if nothing else.
Enough wind.
That's
just
right.
To roll the ball a little bit there.
Everything makes a difference. The devil's in the details.
So first and 10 for the Hippos at the 38-yard line. 6:53 to go, third quarter. Vipers up 24-6. Stefik in the shotgun, back split to either side. Hand off right side again and again, all the way out to the 44-yard line. They found something here, about a 6-yard pickup for Braylon Beckworth.
Adam Scott on the tackle there, but I really believe that fake reverse this time, Matt Sanders, really froze a couple of our players. Good play design is open. The middle really opened up.
Second down and 4 from the 44-yard line. And met in the backfield. They're going to be dropped backwards for a loss. They tried to get it to Jaden Littles, and the Vipers roll over, and then a flag comes in after the play.
Don't know if it's going to be unnecessary roughness, or maybe they got a hold of the face mask or something there.
Yeah, it might have been taunting. I don't think he had the jersey, but I think they...
Yeah, they were definitely taking him for a ride. And too. Morgan and somebody else were both trying to pick him up and drive him as far as back as possible, which I love to see that, but I don't know what the call is here.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. They tried to they kept it going a little too long, I think, is probably what the referee's interpretation of that.
I think it was unnecessary roughness is what they said. Just the whistle was blowing. They tried to get a little extra throw right there at the end, which, again, you want to be aggressive as defense, but
fine
not
line.
needed when you already got the negative play.
Well, that's the second 15-yard penalty against the defense in this second half, and guys, that really provides a burst of wind to the sails of any offensive unit.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
You think about the net gain there. That is about a 35-yard swing in field position.
Yeah. So first and 10 Hippos at the Viper 44-yard line. Halfway through this third quarter. Straight ahead, hand off, big burst of speed up the middle. It's going to be all the way down to the 37, so a gain of 7 on the play, second down and 3.
We've seen this Hutto offense just really ride these RPOs for as long as possible. And you know, earlier in the game, we're getting a lot of pressure. It's not working, and you saw right there, when you pick right on the RPO, it's a disaster where you're going to lose a ton of yards. But when you can get the defense to freeze up, you're going to get a big rushing game like we just saw.
String pass left side, and a beautiful job there in the open field. That'll knock him back a couple yards.
Hello, Matt Draken, number 16.
Yes.
Yeah, he's all over the field
I mean, I think that's his fourth or fifth tackle.
Yeah.
And he is just having an absolutely superlative evening, doing everything right, Matt Sanders.
We've seen him put on some teach tape from the secondary corner position where he just, whether it's beating a man one-on-one, forcing a play inside, or making a huge solo tackle to stop any extra yardage.
Yeah, it was just him in space that time, and he makes the stop. Pass over to the right side, but a sliding catch made at the 32-yard line. Good for a Hippo first down.
Well, that's that same little stop route, Matt Sanders, where I think we've been beaten a couple times a bit deep. They've got some excellent speed on the perimeter, as you said, and that time you just stop a little bit past the sticks.
And I think that's one of those things where maybe it's in the game plan where we know we have this speed on the edge, and maybe we're worried about possibly matching it deep right there, and so you have your corners play a little off coverage in that instance, but you're going to give up the underneath routes like we just saw.
Jay Neasley hauling it in, dropping back Stepik. He's under pressure. He's going to go down back at the 40-yard line. So the Viper defense coming up again with a nice stop. Parker Davis involved on the play.
Deshaun Morgan also, the Arizona State commit. That's a lot of pressure from 5 guys. Just brings it from so many different spots. That's what I love about the Vipers defense, Matt, is they vary up their pressure packages where you've got guys coming from you have no idea where.
Yeah, they don't make it easy on the O-line to discern who's coming or not, which makes it very hard for offenses to figure out who they're keying on. And right here, this is exactly where we want the defense to be at. You get a negative gain on first down. Let's keep it clean, no penalties, and let's try and get off the field.
Second and 15 from the Viper 38-yard line. Stefik, draw play up the middle, and not much running room there for Braylon Beckworth.
There's DVV again.
Yeah,
DVV.
Number 94.
Gets it, and again, follows his responsibility. His key is the running back there, and right there they tried to ride the RPO as long as possible. The key gets to the running back, and there's no gain to be found.
He managed to stumble for a yard, so third and 14 from the 37-yard line. Clock rolling, 3:33 to go, third quarter.
Vandegrift, the 24-6 lead, guys. Time is running out.
Trips here to the near side, one receiver wide right. Slot screen, a little hook and ladder over here to the near side. Vipers react to it and knocked out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. Got some of it back, makes it a manageable fourth down, and another flag.
I think that might be against Hutto. Somebody somebody earholed Matt Draken, and he ended up about 8 yards deep.
I would love for it to be on Hutto right now because another 50-yarder would honestly get me into the annoyed territory with our team right now where we are just having good stops and then just giving up these penalties.
Yeah,
Viper defense reacted very well to that play. They had it for a minimal gain, about 7 or 8 yard pickup, but we'll check this flag.
And I also believe there's a hippo down on the field. Not sure what number. Or maybe that's a Viper.
That is a Viper. It looks like Ian Witt. He's getting up.
That's good to see. But not putting a lot of weight on the left wheel.
He's able to walk off, and that gives me – that's a good sign right
there.
That is
a good sign.
He looks pretty – he's walking off pretty fast. So if I had to guess, the injury looks like it's probably to something ankle maybe, which isn't anything too major. Hopefully he doesn't miss any time.
Well, unfortunately for Hutto, they go from out of the frying pan into the fire because we get double nickel, number 55, George Sarant, coming in the game. And, guys, he's had a really good season spelling Ian Witt. Got numerous tackles for loss. Very disruptive player. I mean, he's starting on many teams, but he's just got Ian Witt in front of him, and he's having a really good year, number 55, George Sarant.
Yeah, we saw him earlier make a huge play where he comes in relief of Witt and just destroys the center in front of him and helps stuff a run. So that's one thing that I think as the season has gone on, we found that this team actually has some good depth where normally some Viper teams you may not have had the depth that this team has shown, where we've seen guys come off the bench in relief of these players and be actually huge playmakers and make a big difference.
Penalty was on the hippo, so it's now 3rd and 21 back at the 44-yard line. So that eliminates a nice play for Hutto. Vipers on the sidelines trying to get fired up and motivated again. They've been a little lower key here in the second half, and Coach Compton on the far side, he's wanting to figure out what the explanation was of the call.
Yeah, he's past the top of the numbers, which is danger zone for getting a penalty on a coach. You're not ever supposed to get up that far on the field, but we've seen Coach Sanders do that a few times. I mean, he has to be really riled up. I mean, we kind of has, over the years, Matt, we've watched him. If he gets, about 2 or 3 yards on, if he makes it to the bottom of the numbers, we know he's not happy.
Yeah. Anytime you're trying to get as close to the ref as possible, you're usually not. You're not trying to shake his hand and tell him how much of a great job he's doing.
So the loss it down went with it. So it's 4th and 21. The Hippos will have to punt it away. So that tells me as that ball angles towards the sidelines that it was after the play.
It was after the play. Matt Draken was just standing there and didn't see the number for Hutto, but somebody came and cleaned him completely out after the play was done.
Beautiful punt, and the Vipers will start this drive way back inside their own 5-yard line.
Great punt. Now the Vipers have to kind of dig themselves out of a field position hole here where we're now starting on our own 4. So we got 96 yards to go to get to the end zone.
What do you call here, Matt Sanders? Because Hutto has proven that they can stuff the run a bit. It's given us some room to throw over the top, but backed up into your own end zone. The offensive line's been doing a good job. You think you can take a shot down the field here?
I think you're going to open up with a good run play here. I wouldn't mind a screen pass either from this point in the field if you trust that you practice the timing enough. But I think the safest play is just to run and try and get out and get some space before you can throw.
Give it to number 4. That's always a good answer. He's going to push it out to the 9-yard line, pick up 5-6 yards on the play. 2nd down and 4 coming up.
And now we've got some breathing room. Now you can maybe look to catch him off guard with a shot because you've got enough space back here now where your quarterback can actually maneuver a little bit if the pocket were to break down.
Boy, look at that Hutto sidelines in comparison to the Vandegrift Vipers. They just don't have the numbers out there in terms of depth.
Right.
Time and attrition is going to be a big effect in this game on that Hutto D-line.
2nd and 4, handoff, Fournier again. This time he's tripped up and lunges out to the 11, at least pick up a yard in the play. So it's up a 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a great back right there. He's tripped up in the backfield and is able still to fall forward and get a little bit of a gain out of that instead of losing yards. So sets up a nice 3rd and short for the Vipers to get.
I've been impressed with this Hutto D-line. They've got some good players up there.
Yeah.
Number 35, that's Elijah Washington. He's had a really good game. Their linebackers look really, really good. Number 4, Cashton LaPlante.
3rd down and 3, empty back set, trips to the near side for Teodecki. And pass over to the right side, and the receiver not looking back. The ball falls incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th down. The punting unit's going to come on again.
Well, really interesting there, Matt. They changed up their defensive front and ran a straight 3-man line where you had an inside nose tackle and 2 6 techniques on the outside shoulder of the tackle. So, wide open in the middle. So you more of a coverage package there. They weren't crowding the middle trying to stop the run. And Vipers can't convert on 4th down. It's going to be another punt.
Yeah, I think they were expecting the Vipers to look to pass in that situation just because of how the run went before. And it pays off. They're able to drop an extra player back there and not a lot of space to throw.
Caldera launches it back to the 43-yard line and returned inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. That's Jaden Fields on the return. And Hutto will have pretty good field position here with 1:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. Still not out of the woods yet. 24-6, Vipers on top.
Big shout out to number 15, Joe Geraci. He's keeping the special and special teams. I think that's his 2nd tackle on special teams tonight, guys. Doing a great job covering downfield. Good to see the senior. He likes to get involved in the football game.
So 1st and 10, Hutto Hippos at the Viper 37-yard line. Viper defense is going to be called on to make a stand here again.
Sarant's still out there. Witt's on the sideline. He's out of the tent, kind of standing next to coach, so maybe he's expecting to come back in.
And he's got the helmet on, which is always a good sign. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. Nope, there was a handoff to the left side. I thought that Stefik kept it, but instead he handed it off to Braylon Beckworth, who's going to pick up about 8 yards on the play, 2nd down and 2.
Beckworth's listed as a defensive back, so maybe he's doing some double duty. Probably started off playing more defense.
And another injured Viper on the play.
It looks like Buchanan is down. Him and Scott kind of collided on that tackle there. Not sure what the injury is to this point or what he looks like when he gets up. Got up pretty fast, shakes off his legs a little bit.
Yeah.
It looked like he kind of got hit in the midsection, so maybe just wind knocking out. It looked like he was a little shocked at the hit there, but walking normally out to the sideline talking to coach, so it looks like he'll be all right.
Well, Hank got a great point. The Vipers are a little bit thin. Coach just talked about it a little bit, but with Witt on the sideline, Sarant has come in and done an awesome job.
Yeah.
So that's one area that you're not too terribly worried yet, although you'd always like to have number 5 out on the field.
Yeah, Vipers are always ready for that next man up. We've seen so many guys over the years step into a role mid-season. We've already had a couple this year.
2nd and 2 from the 29-yard line. Dropping back, pump fake, hit as he throws it. That ball's going to be picked off at the 11-yard line to the 15 to the 20. Coming the other way, it's going to be Draken again to the 25. Bounces the feet to the sideline, 30, 35, 40, and finally out of bounds to the 43-yard line. Beautiful job, Matt Draken, with the interception and a nice return afterwards.
Well, I'll tell you what, Draken so far for me is the defensive player of the game. He's absolutely doing so many good things. He's a sure tackler. He's great in coverage. And what about that return of the interception? He takes that about 40 yards, intercepted that ball inside his own 10-yard line, so 30 yards. But a good-looking play by Matt Draken, right where he's supposed to be.
And what a way for him to just set up this offense in a great field position where we had some – earlier we saw us having to dig out from 5 yards right there. And if he just got the pick and went down again, we would have to dig ourselves out. But now, because of his return, it makes the job a lot easier on this Viper offense.
52.3 seconds to go, 3rd quarter, up 24-6. Toss sweep left side, and this is going to be Moore going to get it across the 40, maybe the 41-yard line. Gain of a yard in the play, 2nd down and 9.
Looks like Hutto, again, on that play on the interception. They were looking for another kind of fade route on the backside or one of those wheel concepts there. The fake to the swing route by the running back, and we're expecting the safeties to bite down.
Right.
Or corner to bite down on that swing. Draken does his job, stays on his man, and just waits for the ball right there. And that just, again, is a testament to the defense as a whole, where everyone's playing together and doing their assignments, and that allows for Draken to make a big play and hopefully sets up this Viper offense to score some more points here.
Time for one more play here in the quarter if they choose to snap it. They got to snap it one more time, so high snap, handoff up the middle. And Moore again picks his way to the 43-yard line. Another 2-3-yard. Make it 2 on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. And that's going to be the end of quarter number 3. So 3 quarters in the books, 12 minutes left to go in this one. We'll take a break and be right back. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
Vyper fans, is your home in need of a refresh? Whether you want a full-service home renovation or it's time to create your dream kitchen or bathroom, A. Newman Interiors has you covered. We will use our preferred pricing with major brands to choose the most perfect furniture and finish selections for any space in your home or office. A. Newman Interiors has proudly served the 4 Points community for over 10 years, and there's no better clients than our Vyper fans. Call 626-310-2315 today to schedule your free consultation.
In today's fast-paced world, we don't always have time to take care of the little things, like doing the laundry. That's where Laundry to Your Door can help. We offer free pickup and fresh next-day delivery for dry cleaning, launder and press, wash and fold, and alterations. Locally owned and family operated, Laundry to Your Door has been proudly serving Travis and Williamson counties since 2008. And we're keeping Vyper fans fresh all football season long with an exclusive 25% discount. Just visit laundrytoyourdoor.co and use the promo code VyperFan25 to schedule your free pickup today.
3rd down and 7. Vipers now moving from right to left as the fourth quarter gets underway. Teodeke with one back to his right side, dropping back, looking downfield. Pass over to the right side, got a receiver out there, sliding catch made. He's pinned on the spot. Gavin Kester hauling it in. Looks like he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down.
I'm not sure if I agree with that spot, but I'm not wearing a striped shirt. So nice looking route. I thought he was right past the yard to gain, but it's going to be 4th and short.
Maybe because he had to come back to the ball so much, ref didn't want to give him that first. And now this is a big 4th and short where, you get this and you can continue this drive, and one more touchdown really puts this game out of reach.
Here comes the beef, guys, as Ian Witt's back in the game as a fullback.
There you go. And he leads away to the left side, breaking free, 48 to the 40, to the 35, drug down from behind at the 30-yard line. Brendan Fournier broke through the second wave, saving the touchdown. Cashton LaPlante, son of Hutto athletic director Brad LaPlante, made a touchdown-saving tackle, but what a run by Fournier.
I'll tell you what, Fournier, if he gets to that second level, he is such a matchup problem for even a linebacker, but definitely defensive back to try and bring him down. He's just got so much size and strength, Matt Sanders. He's just a truckload.
Love to see Ian Witt back on the field there with the lead block. He does a great job, squares his man up, opens that hole, and then Fournier just takes off at the races. I taught him that block.
Yeah, yes.
That's all.
I don't recall you playing fullback too much.
And left side, Fournier going to cut it upside 20 to 15 and out of bounds at the 12. So the Vipers trying to assert their will now.
Well, and there it is again to the second level, and a very casual stiff arm by Fournier there, and almost very just casual. He didn't have to do much.
Normal for him to have that run, and then just slithers his way for a nice gain.
First down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Vipers trying to put this one out of reach. Clock stop at 10:35 to go, up 24-6.
6th play of the drive, guys, and Hutto's D-line might finally be getting a little bit gassed.
5 seconds to play clock. Good snap. Handoff up the middle. Fournier again. Inside the 10 to the 5 and flung down to the 4-yard line. It'll be first down and goal there.
Hank, you can see your hog mollies just starting to create some absolute craters in this run game because as it wears down, again, we talked about this Hutto team doesn't have that many rotational pieces or depth on this front, and you can see they get tired as the drive moves on, and this is exactly what you want as the Vipers offense, where now we're getting it in chunks in the run game and allows for everything else to become a lot easier.
I mean, those big guys up front are plowing some earth. Your new starting right tackle, number 78, Ryan Olson, did a fantastic job on that last play. And now we got 3 tight end. This is my favorite.
First down to go. Up under center is Teodeke. He's going to hand it off to Fournier, following the big guys up front, and he's going to get to about the 2 where they stand him up, and then he just slowly disappears into the pile like quicksand. 2nd and goal coming up.
Looks like they're going to give him the first there, but this front has been really good on answering these kind of really short yard situations where it's just man on man, beef on beef up there, and it just creates a whole mass of people, and they've done a great job. As we saw earlier, they stopped us on the one where we just kept trying to run inside. There wasn't any room to go. So I'm curious here if the Vipers have some other kind of trickery play to get a touchdown here, because this would put the game out of reach.
We got a new left guard in the game, gentlemen. It's number 74, Will Wood. Starting to see some of the depth at Vipers O-line.
First down to go from the 2-yard line. Teodecki hands it off left side, Fournier, and he's going to bounce it to the outside, digging towards the goal line. Can't get there. Second down and goal.
Again, the Hippos are there to answer the call, and in these short yardage situations, we look like we're getting a little space, but they're just Hippos everywhere surrounding the Vipers as we get closer and closer to this end zone. It's now second down. I like kind of the let's just keep it standard first down call, but I'm waiting for some trickery here, some misdirection. Maybe a jump pass, maybe give Ian Witt one more shot. He had that drop. I've been waiting all season for it.
We got Deshaun Morgan is in the game as a tight end, so true beef.
Second to goal. Hand off to Fournier. He bullhorns his way to the end zone, touchdown.
So there's your unbalanced set, Matt. You had all the guys on the right-hand side. I think you moved your right tackle over there, so there was only a tight end and a guard on the left. So you advertise a little bit, but that's just overpowering, beating them with numbers on that right-hand side. And you don't see that too much at this level, the unbalanced line, but it sure does work.
Yeah, and that's one of those things is that O-lineman, and kind of like what your O-line coach will tell you, get to the sideline and sort down. Your coach will literally tell you it's just straight up who wants it more when you get down the 1-yard line. And so it kind of lights a fire of you as a lineman, and you just want to beat the man in front of you. And when everyone does that, you can walk into the end zone.
31-6 as Colbert tacks on the extra point. That should be enough, but we got 8:39 to go. We'll come back and see how the Vipers close this one out. Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Family time, anytime. Always worth every dime. On our ways, chicken eat. Unbelievable sweet tea. Extra tenders, they're the best. Not to mention all the rest. Chicken E's the place to go for all of us in the know. Plenty of size to make a meal. Chicken E is for real. Follow me to Chicken E. Gotta have their sweet tea.
8 minutes, 39 seconds left. Merle Bertrand here along with Matt Sanders and Hank Hudson. Christina Weber Bertrand, my better half, who's been unable to even listen to the broadcast live with the server issue going on with our streaming provider. So thank you for being patient and checking out the replay here on Vype.
Guys, your Independence Title scoring drive summary. You go 9 plays, 60 yards, and out of those 9 plays, only 1 was a pass. On the pass to Gavin Kester, the rest of it all on the ground.
And the kickoff, short kick fielded up front, and that's where Hutto will take over first down 10 from their own 35-yard line with 8:38 left to go in this one.
Another squib kick. It seems like now that's kind of their plan after having the threatening 2 kickoff returns having to be saved by the kicker, who, first time didn't do so well, second time recovered, made a great tackle. And now as a special teams, you're kind of like, okay, they've got some guys who can return back there.
Right.
And a return would definitely, that's the fastest way you can score, which would make the game much more manageable for the Hippos. And so I like the call here of just squibbing it out. Let's give it to the ball around the 35.
I think you're exactly right, Matt Sanders. And the thing about it is, on 2 of those returns, they are 3 or 4 yards deep in the end zone. So they're obviously not afraid to bring it out. You kick it short and eliminate that threat.
Stefik in the shotgun. First and 10 from the 35-yard line. Receiver coming in motion right to left. That's Jordan Tucker. Settles into the left slot. And handoff up the middle. Pretty nice hole there. That time out to the 43-yard line. Going to pick up about 9 on the play. Brings up a second down and 1.
Backwards, just able to squeak right by the waiting arms of Morgan there. Again, they're just riding this RPO out. Morgan has to freeze and respect who's going to get the ball here. And Beckwith just has the burst to get by him.
Fumble ball's on the carpet, and the Vipers say they've got it.
Deshaun Morgan
yes,
with
he
a
does.
recovery, big play, Vipers.
They try to do it to him again. They tried the slow RPO.
Yeah.
But again, that's another one of the risks of the slow RPO is you're not really sure who's getting the ball. As the running back, you're not exactly sure when I'm going to clamp down or when the quarterback's going to give it or pull it. And you can practice it a million times, but it just increases the chance of fumble when you're in that transition period so long of the handoff.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about it in the pregame. Their #1 running back for Hutto, Kalen Chavez, is out of the game tonight. So how many times have they practiced that with the guys that are taking the carries right now?
Well, and
Morgan, he's right there. He's waiting for it.
A heads-up player. I mean, he's made a couple of tackles for loss. He's got a sack tonight and a fumble recovery. I mean, he's all over the field as usual. Vipers are set up with their best field position of the night, except for when they got it on the inside the 5.
Hand off to Moore, and he's going to lose yardage back to the 48-yard line. Started up the middle, nothing there. Tried to bounce it to the outside, but Hutto had that closed off as well. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14.
Yeah,
Number 30, Braden Stanfield for the Hutto Hippos on the stop that time.
Moore had another one of his signature quick cuts there, but wasn't able to find much more spaces. Looks like the Hippos always do a great job, like coming off the bench as a defense or right fresh to start the drive. The Vipers have to get the drive more sustained, and then they can start wearing down this front.
2nd down and 14. Teodecki in the shotgun. Hand off again. And this time down to the 42-yard line. That looks like a different back. Yeah, that's number 8 on the carry. Kent Sullivan on the carry.
Senior Kent Sullivan. He is the young man who led the Vipers out onto the playing field carrying the American flag. He's a senior. And I think, Matt, tell us, how do they award that spot to a team member? Who gets the honor of carrying that flag out every week? How do they decide?
It's usually just most effort in practice that week, or who kind of brings the fire of practice. So it's honestly really cool because it makes, kind of think about how you're practicing. And because it is really cool to be able to say, okay, I'm carrying the flag this week. I got to do it one time off a good practice or whatever. And you kind of, as a captain, you vote on who you think is voted on who gets to do the flag stuff. So you get the captains together. I think this year they have 5 or 6 captains, and you meet near the end of the week and you say, hey, this guy was really killing it, bringing the energy every practice, and you choose kind of a senior like that makes a big impact, where maybe their impact isn't on the field, but their impact is they're giving us a good look in practice, or they're really bringing the energy, and that's just a special thing to say. We recognize that. That's a very important part of the team, and that's your role, is that every day you're bringing it. You get rewarded. You now get to lead out the team with the flag, which is really sick to do.
Well, I'm really glad to get that perspective, because I've always wondered, because it's interesting to me watching as both a fan and a guy doing the radio is, it's not usually, a starter or a captain. It's usually somebody who's, not maybe is getting as much playing time. And I always wondered, what are they doing to make that selection? Yeah. So it's really interesting to hear you say that the captains decide, and it's somebody that can go to someone who's not necessarily a starter.
Yeah. And that's just another one of those culture things where it makes, and this is why there's so many guys on the sideline right now. People want to be a part of this team, and it's little things like that make it special. Makes everyone know their role and feel important on the team.
3rd down and 8 after the timeout. Ball spotted at the Hippo 41-yard line. Dropping back to Teodecki. Pass for the right side. Complete to the 38, to the 35. Cuts up to the 30. 25, 20. Foot race to the right side. 15, 10, 5. And diving towards the goal line. Fumbled it out of bounds. Jack Rudberg on the reception. And I think he was fortunate he fumbled out of bounds, or it would have been a touchback.
Well, I tell you what, Rudberg, not only did he do a really nice job running his route and bringing the ball in for a nice catch, what a great move to the outside and burst up the sideline. You don't expect a big man like that to be able to run.
Yeah, they're saying he was down before. He was pushed a little bit to the outside there.
Right.
And when you're getting a play like that, of course you're going to try and dive for that pylon and get the touchdown. So just barely didn't make it there, which,
Second time tonight we've come up not quite making it. But a great play nonetheless. 1st and goal from the 3. Trying to put the icing on the cake here. Hand off Sullivan, the senior. Can he get it in? Not quite. Keep giving it to him. Get him that touchdown.
Number 79, a new right guard over there. That's Abib Garcia. Made a great block, guys, to kind of clear the way. Getting a look at a few different O-linemen up there. We've got a bunch of hog mollies. 74, Will Wood is still in the game.
Kent Sullivan subbed out. Moore's in the backfield.
Tight end number 44, Matthew Hedlund. We've seen quite a bit of him this year.
I was hoping Sullivan could get himself a touchdown.
Yeah, me
the
too.
Senior. 2nd down, a goal from the 1. Teodecki to Moore, and Moore's going to get the job done as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Vandegrift.
Another great block by Abib Garcia. He's only a junior, so we might get to see him next year. Also, number 62. You know him and you love him, Chase Springer. He's the center, leading the way that time.
Really nice job by the O-line there, where now you're seeing as the game wears on, this front is just creating nice holes for these running backs to get through. And running backs all three of them are now doing a great job of finding the hole and just bursting right through it and getting yards.
While the Olsen now, the junior, on for the extra point. Not dropping off much between 1 and 2 in that department. Olsen 19 for 19 on PATs. And make it 20 for 20 as he knocks it through with 5:51 to go. Great response by these Vipers after Hutto came down and scored. Viper offense comes out. They don't move the ball, give it back to Hutto. That was a high watermark for the Hippos tonight. The Vipers have re-grabbed control of this football game.
And this is exactly what you want to see, where, it was really close, 17-0 in the first half, where, and almost 17-7, the Vipers come up with a really clutch stop right there before the half. And now the Vipers have completely run away with the game. And this is kind of what you want to see now.
Yeah.
Where, this is a solid team. I out of all the teams I've watched, I think this team has a really legitimate shot at making the playoffs this year and being one of those 4 teams. Just based off also who they've beaten in the district and stuff. And I think it's shown tonight that, they've got the dudes. Obviously, they're missing their key running back. When he's back next week, it could be a different story. But I think this is a really quality team, and this is a really quality win for the Vipers.
So you go 42 yards after the Deshaun Watson fumble recovery, guys. 7 plays, 42 yards. Justin Moore, number 23, with a 2 or 3 yard touchdown run. You eat up some time on the clock. Again, a lot of runs on that drive. Now you just want to kind of bleed the game dry as you're up 38-6.
Yeah. Morgan does a great job of he's just around the football at all times, which is what you want out of your star defensive end on that side. And
what a great special teams play.
Harry Fields
peels
that one
James
on the hop.
The third. Man.
Just comes all the way across.
Tracked him down.
That's our freshman.
That's the
freshman running back. Doing what he, contributing however he can.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Back to that touchdown. That's one of those things that I always kind of hated in football, where you get a running back, gets you right down to the 1, and then you just sub him out for no reason. Yeah. And nothing makes me more mad, especially on my fantasy team, where I've got the running back who got all the way to the 1, they bring in another relief back. I'm like, he doesn't look that tired. It's just 1 yard. Let him get one more shot.
So a chance for a bunch of guys to get some work in here with 5:45 to go. Handoff left side on a good start there. Only a gain of a yard on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Parker Davis making another tackle. Guy's been all over the field tonight. Number 56 also involved in the stop, I believe. That is Wyatt Martin, senior defensive lineman.
We've got an injured Viper down on the field right now. While they're tending to him, this is
great job.
Kind of what Matt was talking about. We didn't get a chance to go into this coming into tonight with all the technical difficulties we have. But those were the standings coming in tonight. The Vipers on top. And Hutto, this is not right. This is not right. This is left over from all the stopping and starting and all that kind of stuff I had to do. Let me call up the right one here.
Yeah, it looks like I'm just a bit shocked because that Hutto lost to Manor based on what we saw from Manor last week and what we've been seeing from this Hutto team. I think on the balance, I agree with you, Matt. I think they look like the more complete football team.
But that's been the story of this district, where I feel like outside the Vipers and most years it's just kind of like anyone can beat anyone, no matter what the case are. But I feel like this Hutto team has been one of the better teams in the district that we've played.
I agree.
And I also felt that way about Stony Point, but Stony Point has had some surprising losses as well.
Yeah. And quarterback step is going to keep us up, bouncing to the right side, into the 40 or the 45, 50 up the sideline, and steps out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Here's what I was trying to call up before. Vipers on top at 5-0. Round Rock has the bye this week at 5-1. To your point, Matt, Hutto comes in tonight 3-2 in district, and right there with Vista Ridge. It's going to be a dogfight down the stretch for the Hippos to try to get into the playoffs.
Wow, I didn't know Stony was 1-5 in the district. That just
a lot of close losses.
Me more than anything, because I feel like that team had more. They had the talent to
really
push for the playoffs this year. At least, from what I saw offensively, they scored a ton of points on us, which is doesn't happen often.
Cedar Ridge is playing McNeil tonight. That's kind of an elimination game almost over there. Swing pass left side across the 50 and knocked down to the 49-yard line, caught by Gabriel Medina.
Tobias Gray, number 22, reeling him in. Big plays from him this year. When he gets a chance to get in the game, he's got a couple.
Three interceptions in 2 games?
That was an amazing performance. He had to come in a tight situation.
Yeah.
That wasn't garbage time interceptions. Those were big boy football interceptions.
Ball just across the midfield stripe, 2nd down and 9 from the Viper 49-yard line. And this is a nice pickup inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line. You're down by 32 points. You got a chance to make the playoffs. I'm not so sure I'd have your quarterback running around like that.
Wyatt Martin again get in on the tackle. We got number 28, Brady Cernix, in the game at the cornerback on this near side.
28. Yeah, Brady Cernich is in, which is good to see him get in the game. And this is why, you get to be up late like this. Now you can get some other guys more playing time, which we've seen, gotten to see a lot of this season, which is great.
Great play by Tanner Howard there. He saw that little wide receiver swing pass, and that'll be a tackle for a loss for Howard all the way back to the 42-yard line. 2nd down coming up.
Nice job on that play by Howard. Checking into the game right now is number 15, Joe Geraci, special teams player of the night for me. Also number 43, Davis Penrose, a senior linebacker.
2nd and 12 from the Viper 41-yard line. Steffik's got trips here to the near side. Hand off left side to the 35. Good speed inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Fumble, I think the ball came out, but I think he got back on it again. Josh Beckett, the junior running back, with a nice pickup.
53, Braden Waz in the game. 58, that is Theodore Alamar. Going to look at the big number 58.
Who has Hutto lost to in the district so far?
They lost to Manor.
Lost to Manor, which is a shocker because that's Manor's only district win.
They beat Stony Point. They lost to Round Rock and Manor.
That's right.
So Round Rock is one of those teams where, not surprising to lose to Round Rock. They're always very good in the district, but the Manor loss surprised me for this team. I feel like this team has much more ability overall as a complete team.
They got out to a huge lead on Cedar Ridge, and then they had to hang on to win that one 63-56, Hutto did about a month ago. That was a wild one.
Over 100 points scored in that one.
Like a basketball came early.
Number 64, Harrison Temple's now in at that right defensive end.
Coming up on the 3-minute mark, 3:05, clock moving. 1st down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Hippo's trying to get another score on the board. Hand off left side, and that guy's got some speed inside the 5, and he's going to get down near the goal line. Going to bring up a 1st and goal from about the 1-yard line.
That was Beckworth. They get on the carry.
Yeah, number 31, Tanner Howard getting another tackle. Probably saved a touchdown there.
What was it? Beckworth has some burst to him. When
Yes,
he
he does, doesn't he?
He is quick up the field.
Yeah.
And when, we got some relief players in here, they've got their full starters in there, starting to create a few more bigger holes, and you can see how he takes advantage of that space.
I think that's just a testament to that front three that the Vipers have.
How they just allow no space to run. You got a back like that where he just gets the ball and he looks like he just shot out of lightning in a bottle, where he just, he ejects from the backfield there, and that's just, like Hank was saying, a testament to how good our front has been playing tonight.
Yeah, he just has not had the opportunity before now to get to that second level. But you're right, he looks like he's been shot out of a gun once he gets there.
Timeout on the field with 2:35 to go. Hutto knocking on the door. 1st and goal at the Viper 1. As they try to get a cosmetic score here and make this look a little bit more respectable. I'm with you, Matt. I think Hutto makes the playoffs. Of the teams that we have seen, Cedar Ridge.
I've seen, I think they're the most complete.
Who does Hutto have next week?
They have, I'll get to that right after this play here. I've got it written down. They host Vista Ridge next week, and we'll have that game for you on Vype.
That'll be a good game.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think I've only missed one game this season now because of the gas leak that happened last week. So I didn't get to watch Manor.
Power formation, and they're going to
fumble.
Oh, fumble. Ball came out the 4-yard line. Vipers not celebrating, so I think he got back on it again.
Right back on it. And that, I was going to say, that is be unfortunate for the Hippos there, where you, as a back, you march your way all the way down here and then fumble right on the one.
Yeah.
It'd be a little sour taste in my mouth.
Number 39, Will Gates in the back.
Play action. We got a receiver open and caught touchdown. Well-designed play there. Stefik faked the handoff and bootlegged out and found the receiver open in the back corner of the end zone.
Number 12, Jaden Fields again. That's been their kind of main man in the receiving game, and he finds a way to get open there. So really nice play where the defense is expecting run. They've been hitting him on the run pretty hard, and he just is able to find some space for a nice little lob right to him. But yeah, I think from what I've seen this season, I think Hutto has been a complete team. I think their defensive front looks salty. I think they obviously have weapons on offense, and we don't even see their main back that has been a star this season statistically, and has been giving a lot of teams trouble. So I think with him back in the lineup, this offense it already looks pretty good. I think their O-line looks big. I think their quarterback can really sling it. So this would be my pick for that fourth playoff spot if I had to.
Yeah, they're scoring 40.3 points per game. Diego Beelzebub Lopez drilling the extra point. So 2:18 left, 38-13. Cedar Park falls to Lake Belton tonight, 28-21.
Interesting. Well, Fournier's got over 100-yard rushing again, gentlemen, on about 15 or 16 carries. Offensive line doing a good job. But the big play man tonight has been number 1 in your program and number 1 in your heart, Brock Chilton. He's got 2 long touchdown receptions, one for 55 yards in the second half. And then, of course, in the first half, the big 87-yard bomb, longest play from scrimmage.
How many catches does he have?
He has got 5 catches for about 150 or so, or 170 yards.
I was going to say it'd be funny if his only 2 catches were the two big long touchdowns, like he's Randy Moss kind of stat line right there. But
yeah, we've only got the Tedecki spreads it around. We haven't thrown the ball that much.
Yeah,
he's only got about 13 attempts. He's thrown 4 to Brock Chilton, 1 to Hedlund, and 1 to Gavin Kester. So
Vipers call a timeout. You're expecting an onside kick.
And this is interesting here. I mean, there's 2 minutes left in the game. You're down
25. That's 4 possessions.
4 possessions. There's really no point to go for an onside.
Unless you just want to work on it against a good team.
Yeah, unless you want to just practice the onside. But again, that's one of those things where if you got maybe a specific onside kick, you don't want to put it on film. Especially as the schedule tightens down and you're trying to make a playoff push. So
the fat lady isn't singing, gentlemen, but she is warming up.
Yes, she is. Hey, big score coming out of Lake Travis. Westlake leading Lake Travis in the Battle of the Lakes, 28-16 in the fourth quarter.
28-16. How much time left in the fourth?
I don't know how much. It just says fourth quarter here. As interesting as that game is, what impacts the Vipers the most is next week when Bowie takes on Austin High.
Yeah.
Because if Bowie wins that game, then the Vipers are going to be in Division I. They're going to have to face Westlake at some point. If Austin High wins that game, for all intents and purposes, both Westlake and Lake Travis will go Division I, and we would avoid them.
That would be a better scenario.
Yeah, it would be. Much as I would, onside kick here and line drive, and good hands are at the 45-yard line.
So we need Bowie to make the playoffs, is what you're saying.
We need Austin High to knock off Bowie. They would have the tiebreaker. That will be next week, and we'll have 2 broadcasts of that one for the Bowie folks and one for the Austin High folks. So we'll be able to track that one very well.
Vype is spreading the love.
So, yeah, if Austin High wins that game, they would have the tiebreaker on Bowie and be the number 4 seed, but it would also launch both Lake Travis and Westlake into Division I out of our hair.
And then we're automatically Division II this year.
We're the small school in the district.
Yeah. So then, based on that, we'd have to face one of them.
Dripping
early.
Springs or probably Austin High if we win the division.
Yeah.
New quarterback in. This is Gavin Kester, the sophomore. Had a great catch early in the ball game. Handoff up the middle for about a 3-yard pickup as we come up on the 2-minute mark.
Number 20, the
Preston James, the freshman.
The third.
Getting some new offensive linemen there. New left tackle, number 74, Grant Hindelang. Also, looks like we've got Michael Spees, senior offensive lineman. So some of the Vipers getting a chance to contribute. He got a new center. That's Spees, number 54.
McNeil is going to beat Cedar Ridge. They lead at 46-28 in the fourth quarter. So McNeil after a week off. So that's really going to scramble the district race. Yeah. Hand off to James again, and he's going to lunge up to the 50-yard line for a couple yards on the play. Sets up a 3rd and 5 with 85 seconds to go.
Boy, what a great block that time by left tackle Grant Hindelang. I mean, he really crushed his man down inside. Also on the job, offensive line-wise, is Parker Valenzuela, senior offensive lineman, number 61. You got number 40 in the game. Sam Brown is one of the running backs. Good to get these guys some work. Number 82 is in the football game. Vin Nguyen, who made a really nice play on that onside kicker in the first half.
3rd and 5 from the 50. Kester working that play clock down inside of 5 seconds. Going to snap it with 2 seconds on the play clock. Handoff up the middle. And going to be knocked down for no gain on the play. That's Sam Brown, the junior running back. Will lose a couple yards. Sets up a 4th and 7.
But that old 30 seconds left. No reason to have another play here. And that looks like it's game.
That looks like it's it, gentlemen. Vipers win 38-13. Mission accomplished.
So the scoreboard ticking down. And an odd night for us here. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for your patience. Nothing we could do about that one, but I hate it nonetheless. It drives me out. I'm perfectly capable of screwing up on my own. I don't need somebody else helping me out.
I mean, Merlin, all the time I've been doing this, 7 or 8 years now, I don't recall it ever happening where we had a complete lockdown where we couldn't broadcast live. That's a great record to have. But I mean, I guess you'll probably get that figured out. It's sort of like watching magic. If you got anybody's listening out there right now, it's amazing everything that Merle Bertrand is doing while we're broadcasting. In addition to the play-by-play, doing a kind of the master producer of several other broadcasts at Vype. How many broadcasts now for Vype, Merle?
We've got on an average night 15 broadcasts on a weekend. So, and what's interesting is, not to get too far off in the weeds here because it should be about the Vipers, but we've got 2 other schools, Liberty Hill and a school up in Fort Worth, that uses the same system we do for pay-per-view. They were off the air as well. So it's a nationwide company. They went down. That's what knocked us off the air. But in any event, the Vipers get the win 38-13, and a very impressive performance tonight for Vandegrift, as they are now going to improve. There's the standings coming in tonight again. Vipers going to improve to 6-0. Round Rock has the bye at 5-1. Vista Ridge won last night at 4-2. Hutto evens up at 3-3. McNeil's going to be 3-3. Cedar Ridge is going to drop to 3-4. So it's going to be Hutto and McNeil, and I think they meet in the last game of the season. They've got one more in between. So you've got 6 teams basically battling it out for 4 spots right now with 2 weeks to go in the season.
It's the human drama of athletic competition going right down to the last week of the season for everyone else. Vipers look to be in command and in the driver's seat in terms of playoff seedings and repeating for at least a share. They have every year they've been in the district, they've either won it outright or at least had a share of the district title, which is a pretty amazing record in 6A football.
Yeah. Yes, it is. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Coach Sanders a couple of times. Hopefully Brian won't give up on us and he'll send us another interview. We weren't able to get the halftime interview on the air with all the issues going on. But we'll take a break and be right back. You're watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Network.
If you or your Vandegrift athlete have suffered an orthopedic injury or have joint pain, let Dr. Matthew Crawford and his team at Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine take care of you. Dr. Crawford specializes in diagnosis and treatment of sports-related injuries with an emphasis on injury prevention and conservative treatments. He and his team offer cutting-edge arthroscopic and minimally invasive surgical techniques. Visit them today at austin-orthopedics.com. Let Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine keep you at the top of your game.
Texas Malibu is your exclusive dealer for the world's best-selling water sports towboats. Malibu. We are now the largest dealer for Malibu boats worldwide with locations in Austin, Marble Falls, Texas Ski Ranch in New Braunfels, and now Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Visit the enthusiasts at any of our locations or online at texasmalibu.com to pick out your family's dream boat and make memories on the water that will last a lifetime.
Dr. Martin Molina and his staff welcome you to Texas Family Physicians at River Place. Texas Family Physicians provides comprehensive family medical care for men, women, and children of all ages. They specialize in adult and pediatric preventative care, hypertension, diabetes, sports medicine, and seasonal allergies, just to name a few. They also offer impact-certified baseline and post-injury concussion testing and treatment in office. Visit Texas Family Physicians online at texasfp.com. Texas Family Physicians at River Place. texasfp.com.
Where we talked just briefly about the things that make Vandegrift football who we are. We've talked about the 4 hallmarks, the 3 questions, and now these last 2 things that are basically what we base our foundation off of are our 2 results. And we say we want to graduate with honors and become a man of honor. So those are 2 things that when our young men are done with our program, that's what we want them to have. And so tonight I'm going to talk just a little bit about graduate with honors. I just thought that when we built this several years ago, I just thought it was really important to just dispel the myth of a dumb jock. You know, I've always thought that the same when I was a teacher, and it always irritated me when teachers expected me, when I taught English for several years, they expected me to slacken that, you know, and not take that seriously. And I can tell you that was 100% true in almost everybody I met initially. Then they figured out that I was serious about the classroom and I was going to do my job with excellence in everything I did. And I think that same thought process is really important for our boys. Like, they need to understand as they grow up in our program that we want to be excellent in everything we do, and academics is a really big part of it. Now, at Vandegrift, it's been great because there's a lot of parents that think a lot like we do, and they want their kids to go to the best schools, and they want their kids to get 100s and over that, honestly, in a lot of their homework. So it's just about preparing and representing your school and yourself and your program well by taking your grades seriously. So we want them to take the hard classes. We want them to show what they can do in class, volunteer to help, volunteer to answer questions, sit at the front of the class. All of those things are important. And so we work really hard on that. And I think that this result emphasizes that, like, it's cool to make school serious, like to say it's important to you. And that's what this result is. And I think we've had a strong lineage of young men that have done that and gone on. Of course, I've got multiple graduates from the Vandegrift football program that have graduated from Ivies or currently in Ivies or from the service academies or from elite college. I mean, I can't count them all. That would be fun to do when I'm all done at Vandegrift, is like to add it all up. Like, where are the dentists, where are the doctors, where are the lawyers, where are all the guys that just went and took it very, very seriously. And so I think that shows your work ethic too. So that's one of our main results, is to make sure that we graduate with honors.
Floor Coverings International in Lakeway makes shopping for your new flooring easy. Floor Coverings International carries a full assortment of flooring to fit the purpose of the room, your lifestyle, and budget. Locally owned by Kevin Temple and family, Floor Coverings International offers free in-home consultation with a design associate. At Floor Coverings International in Lakeway, our goal is making your home flooring project a positive and convenient customer experience. Visit us today in Lakeway or online at lakeway.floorcoveringsinternational.com.
The fun never stops at High Five Entertainment. Visit us at our Lakeway or Austin locations for bowling, axe throwing, Topgolf, darts, laser tag, karaoke, and arcade fun. Check us out at bowlhigh5.com. Have an upcoming birthday party, corporate event, or private party? Here at High Five, we plan so you can play. Let us take the stress out of planning your event and guarantee a fun time for all. Good times, good vibes. High Five.
In today's fast-paced world, we don't always have time to take care of the little things, like doing the laundry. That's where Laundry to Your Door can help. We offer free pickup and fresh next-day delivery for dry cleaning, launder and press, wash and fold, and alterations. Locally owned and family operated, Laundry to Your Door has been proudly serving Travis and Williamson counties since 2008. And we're keeping Viper fans fresh all football season long with an exclusive 25% discount. Just visit laundrytoyourdoor.co and use the promo code ViperFan25 to schedule your free pickup today.
Viper fans, is your home in need of a refresh? Whether you want a full-service home renovation or it's time to create your dream kitchen or bathroom, A. Newman Interiors has you covered. We will use our preferred pricing with major brands to choose the most perfect furniture and finish selections for any space in your home or office. A. Newman Interiors has proudly served the 4 Points community for over 10 years, and there's no better clients than our Viper fans. Call 626-310-2315 today to schedule your free consultation.
When you buy or sell a piece of property, it helps to have a friend in the business. Independence Title will pick up the ball on your transaction and take it right across the goal line. Independence is locally owned right here in Austin with deep roots in the Vandegrift community. Independence is also the Austin Business Journal's #1 title company. Work with the home team at Independence Title. Call 329-5299 or go to independencetitle.com.
Welcome back. Final score 38-13. Vipers with the win. We're still standing by to hear from Coach Sanders down there on the sideline. Brian Spielos is trying to track him down. Hank Hudson and Matt Sanders here. And, we talked about it in the opening that we knew Hutto was going to be a good game. Vipers should have been favored, and this one kind of played out pretty much like we thought it would. A little resistance, but the Vipers overcome it as they should, being the favorite ball club tonight.
I think that Hutto did a really nice job of game planning and preparing to play. They came out with some real competitive intensity and, really gave the Vipers a lot more fits than, a couple of the previous district opponents.
Yeah.
The Vipers punted twice in that first half, guys, and turned the ball over and downs their opening possession. So you had 6 possessions, and you don't convert anything meaningful on 3 of them. In the second half, you punted twice in the second half. So I think that's the first time this year we've punted 4 times in one game. So full credit to the Hutto defense. The Vipers locked things down in the end. You need to talk about the number of punts. It looks like Hutto had 5 in the first half, 2 in the second half, and the punting statistics are not something you want to lead in any football game. So the Vipers defense did a really good job forcing turnovers. Also in that first half, we got a Deshaun Morgan fumble recovery that gave the Vipers the ball, and then a big game on defense, guys, for Matt Draken.
Yeah.
Made a bunch of tackles, kept his leverage, stayed outside. Made some plays that he didn't get credit for a tackle, but he forced the receiver to go back inside on those quick screens, and then of course the big interception with about a 25-yard return. Matt Draken had a big night. Hugo DVV, he had another big night. I mean, it's just this Viper defense is looking very formidable as you roll to the later stages of the season.
Yeah, to take a team like the Hippos, where they're averaging over 40 points a game, and just basically stifle them for about 6 points with your starters in when the game was in reach, right? And that is a testament to, again, how good this defense is. Unfortunately, you can't keep the shutout streak clean. But that's a good offense, as we saw today. They have a good quarterback. They have a big O-line, and they have weapons all around on the outside and even in the backfield. Even missing their starting running back, their backup running back came in, and he was explosive and made a ton of plays too. So I think this was a really great kind of test game by our defense, where they showed, hey, we got another high-powered offense here, and we're not letting up more than 6 points once again. So I was really impressed by our defense. And like Hank was saying, I thought Luke Draken had the most big plays of the night defensively, and it was really cool to watch him work on the outside of the corner.
And he has some things to work on. Coaches always love stuff to work on. Don't want to get bored. Special teams, you don't want your kicker having to make 2 tackles on special teams. So
although he did a pretty nice job.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Then these kickers here do everything right. It seems like.
I'm telling you.
But that'll be something to work on. And the something we haven't seen a lot of, the unsportsmanlike and that kind of thing. Kind of lost their head a couple of times. That hasn't happened. That might be a little bit too much of starting to read the own press clippings. I'm sure he's going to take them down a peg or 2 after that.
I think you're exactly right, Merle. I mean, we have really kind of turned the spigot off on penalties after that first game against Cedar Park where we had 10 penalties in one game. First time I've ever seen that. But tonight you tally 6 penalties, and there was 2 15-yarders in there, some holding. So you go 6 penalties for 40 plus 6 penalties for 70 yards. I mean, that is a big swing in field position. And that touchdown they scored, their first touchdown, the 15-yarder made a huge difference because you would have had them with about a 15-yard loss, and then you take it, you net that yardage out, and they get a 15-yard on top from the line of scrimmage. So about a 30-yard swing in field position there that made a huge difference on that drive. And those are the kind of errors, Matt Sanders, that in the playoffs you can't commit those kind of mistakes.
Yeah. And I think that's right. We always have something to work on, especially as we're moving to the playoffs as we're getting closer and closer. And I think that, I mean, Merle said it best, where sometimes you get a little hot as a team, you're doing well, and so you may do some stuff a little extra at the end of the play. And I'm all for a defense playing physical. I'm all for a defense kind of making their presence known to this offense and playing with that aggressiveness. But when it gets to the point where we're getting penalties called or just kind of – and it's penalties that we should be avoiding. And that stuff is just extra at the end of the play. And, I mean, honestly, their touchdown they scored was off a 15-yard penalty that kept that drive alive.
Yep.
And so stuff like that is just we're going to have to clean up. But I thought overall, both sides of the ball, I thought played a really clean game outside of a couple just penalty mistakes. And, this was a good defensive front. I think we struggled a little bit early trying to get the ball moving on through the ground. But we saw as the game wore on that the Viper front won out in the end, and we started to get the runs in chunks. And we saw running backs Fournier start ripping off his normal big runs. So I was really impressed by the offense too tonight.
Well, final road game of the regular season next Friday night from the Keller Reeves Athletic Center against the Westwood Warriors. Westwood thought they might have some playoff hopes. They've had a rough year this year, so always tough to go on the road, even though it's just a short trip across town. And that's classic trap game. Round Rock is lurking out there. Vipers, just can't afford to look past Westwood because they've always given us fits.
For whatever reason, it's really unusual to me because I don't think they've ever really been consistently the second or even third best team in the district. But I think you're right, Merle. There's been many instances in this past 6 or 7 years where Westwood, it just seems like they give us fits. I mean, it's not a...
Especially at that place.
Especially at Kelly Reeves. And, I mean, it's just, they're gritty, tough, and, determined. So I... full credit to them for the success that they've had. I really expected them to do better this year, but I mean, you never know. Statistically, the Vipers ended up with about 450 or 60 yards of total offense. Tiadecki had a very efficient night as usual. He was 7 out of 12, 301 yards and 3 touchdown passes. 5 of his 7 receptions were to that main man, number 1 in your program, number 1 in your heart, Brock Chilton. 5 receptions, 142 yards, 2 touchdowns receptions. In the second half, he hauled in a 55-yarder, and then that big play, the biggest play from scrimmage, 87-yard touchdown on the first play of the 6th possession of the first half. Also, Jack Hedlund caught a pass, really nice running catch for 38 yards. We had also Gavin Kester caught 1 pass. And then Brendan Fournier really looked composed, fit, and strong tonight. Yeah. Matt Sanders, he carries the ball 14 times, 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. Big performance from him.
Well, Brian was finally able to catch up to Coach Sanders. Coach had a bunch of guys that wanted to talk to him as well. So let's take a look here and take a listen to hear what Coach Sanders had to say about tonight's impressive Viper win.
Vype Live here with head football coach Drew Sanders after a big homecoming victory, 38-13. Drew, it was a close game coming into halftime, and your team fought hard, and going into the second half, I think they overcome some adversity and really started taking control of the game.
Yeah, I mean, this is what 6A football looks like. I mean, it's truly, me and Coach Wilkine are talking, it's truly fool's gold. You start the last 3 games, 28-0 or whatever we were doing. It doesn't work like that. People are going to stop you. People are going to make plays. They have great players. They have multiple Division I guys. I'm sure, I don't know if people know that, but a Division I safety, a Division I safety, a great linebacker, a Division I receiver, a Division II receiver. They were missing their running back tonight, but the guy they replaced him with was very, very good, right?
Yeah.
And so, we're missing people too, right? Yep. But my tackle and a few other people. But regardless, I'm so proud of our guys pushing through, we need some adversity. We need to be pushed. And so that's what we tell our guys all the time. And it was ugly at times, but there's never, I'd much rather have a win and looking like that, you know? And so I'm proud of our guys. I told them to be proud of themselves. We're never going to be upset about a 3-score victory, a district victory.
Absolutely. Well, and it's great to see Brendan Fournier back and healthy, and what a game he's had. Some great runs tonight. And I think Matt Draken came up with a nice interception on defense. You got a lot of guys. You got a lot of guys stepping up.
Oh, I'm so proud of our senior class. You just mentioned a couple of seniors, and Fournier's done such a good job. One of our captains pushed through his injury, and now he's back making plays again. So happy to have him back. And Draken's a guy that, he was a JV guy last year. Think about that. And now he's made play after play after play this year. And there's a lot of guys that are too proud and they just quit when they're on JV as a junior, not him. His whole family's, all of his brothers, have played for me. They've all been phenomenal young people. Love the parents. They're wonderful Viper supporters. But Draken's just finding a way to make plays.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, great win tonight. I know it's special on homecoming. You got any hot dates tonight with Janet or homecoming
what we're probably going to do is I'm going to have a hot day with Dairy Queens when I'm thinking about
There you go. That sounds awesome.
Thanks, bro.
Well, congratulations. Have a good night.
Yeah, he's in his 50s now.
Yeah, he loves Dairy Queen. I don't know what happens. You get up there in age and you just start loving Dairy Queen. I don't know what it is.
What is he going for, a blizzard? What are we doing?
He loves getting their Hunger Buster, I think is what it's called.
The Hunger Buster.
He gets a nice
Well, he needs to talk about becoming a sponsor.
Yeah, he loves Dairy Queen. He goes there all the time.
That's awesome.
Well, 38-13, final thoughts here on a good win tonight for the Vipers on homecoming night.
Yeah, I thought Coach said it best. This is a good game where we got pushed early. And I thought that this was good to see this team fight through where, it's been a couple weeks since we've seen some punts and we've seen some drives stall out or go 3 and out. And as an offense, when you're in that situation, you come off to the sideline and you can feel a little dejected, like, oh, we've been scoring at will and now what's wrong? Like, what is wrong with us? And for them to push through that, I thought was a big part of them offensively. And I thought defense did their thing. I thought this was a good win, and I thought, you can build off this in the next week.
Well, next man up, right tackle, number 78, Ryan Olson. We called his names a couple of times tonight in a good way because we saw him making some good blocks. But, as an offensive lineman, sometimes you want some anonymity, because if you're getting beat or pushed around, that certainly wasn't the case. He's deputized very well. I did see number 77, Carter Mannon, suited up on the sideline. So, he's your starter. Hopefully, he's on the road to recovery. We get him back as you move into the latter stages of district. But if you're suited up, I think that's a good sign in terms of your injury status. But he gets another week to rest, and a great job by the sophomore Ryan Olson stepping up and filling a gap.
So a big win tonight for the Vipers. That's going to do it for us tonight. We'll be back with you next Friday night from Kelly Reese Athletic Complex when the Vipers take on the Westwood Warriors. Thanks again to Kevin Witt and the Vandegrift Football Booster Club, Coach Sanders, all of our sponsors, and especially you folks for tuning in, especially for those who stuck it out and waited an extra day or two to watch this replay here. So from our broadcast partners, Hank Hudson and Matt Sanders, Brian Spiel is down on the sidelines, Christina Weber-Bertrand, our QA and Vype Communications Director, Cinna Vincott, our Technical Director, and everyone at Vype Media. My name is Merle Bertrand, signing out from Monroe Memorial Stadium in Austin, where the Vandegrift Vipers had defeated the Hutto Hippos by a final score of 38-13. Have a safe and happy homecoming weekend, and we'll see you next week for more Viper football right here on Vype Live. Good night, everybody.
You've been watching Vandegrift Vipers football on the Vype Live Broadcast Network, presented by our brick-by-brick playmaker sponsors, Independence Title, the Austin American Statesman, Rudy's Barbecue 4 points, and Chicken Express 4 points. Vandegrift Vipers football on Vype Live is also brought to you by our black level sponsors, Austin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Texas Family Physicians, and Texas Malibu. Our silver sponsors, Body 20 at Steiner Ranch, Floor Coverings International, Tiff's Treats, and Movie House and Eatery Trails at 620. And our white label sponsors, A. Newman Interiors, Laundry to Your Door, and High Five Lakeway. Our brick by brick sponsors, Independence Title, the Austin American Statesman, Rudy's Barbecue in 4 points, and Chicken Express in 4 points. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Vype Live.